adjudicating it where we're giving free kicks for obviously tackling to the ground and when a head hits the ground. But I think our players are extremely competitive. That's why they make it to the level that they're at, and they find ways to win. And I've got a concern that our game's going down a path where players are starting to throw their head into the ground in the tackle if they've been caught. And it's a worrying one for me. It's like the head high from a few years ago. I think the AFL have to have a good look at this and find a way for it, because otherwise we're going to lose the tackle.
Well, we do have a fine for staging. Can't remember the last one that was enforced. But that's a great point, Nixie, and that'll take the AFL, let me think, probably 3 years to get to.
Yeah, they're slow, aren't they?
4 years, very glacially. But we have got a rule, so just enforce it's what I say. So what should a staging fine be? When's the last one? Is he right? I agree. And Willie Rioli, a lot of people want to have their say with this. Is he lucky? Was it just an idle threat, whoopsie-do? Or AFL, please stand up. Have your say.
8223 0000 is our number. You can get involved. Straight after we take a break, we'll get to your calls. It's 18 after 4. Later on tonight, Coach's Corner with Campo. It's a Tuesday, so we'll get into all the nitty-gritty with Campo. DJ Vasilovich, the Boomers and the Opals are in town. They'll play tomorrow night at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Exciting times for basketball fans. 3AW Shane McInnes will give us more information around the Willie Rioli situation playing out, and Ned McHenry in studio. But don't forget, your chance to win FIVEAA Locker Room Showdown tickets are coming up as well in tonight's show, so stay listening for that. 8223 0000.
Rowey and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
It's showdown time in Adelaide as the Crows and the Power face off in this high-stakes encounter. The Crows had an impressive win against the Blues.
The Crows triumphant.
While the Power are licking their wounds after a smashing in Ballarat.
The Doggies pulverised the Power.
Saturday night on FIVEAA. It's the Crows and the Power live from Adelaide Oval.
And the crowd is loving this.
Who will rise to the challenge and walk away with the 4 points?
He catches it.
FIVEAA is your home for Showdown.
Right Price, Adelaide's best in heating and cooling, has risen to new heights. Literally, Right Price are now your roofing people too. Same exceptional service, value and quality. From total roof replacement, including tiled roof installation, to tile roof repairs, cleaning and painting. And for peace of mind, a rock-solid quote. So the only surprise you'll get is how magnificent your roof and home looks. Do it right. Visit rightpriceroofing.com.au.
You can get your roof right at Right Price.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, we, the Lynn Andrews team, have specialised in commercial and residential property management. But above all, we specialise in people, helping to make life easier for investors and tenants. Everyone is treated with empathy and respect. It's the way we do business. It's the Lynn Andrews way. For residential and commercial property management, we're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
You wake up with a runny nose. Maybe it's just a cold, but that scratchy throat? This might be serious. And with a family and elderly parents, you can't take any chances. So you reach for Cell Life, the premium 4-in-1 rapid antigen test that gives you reliable results in just minutes. Test for COVID-19, influenza A and B, and RSV all at once. Ask for the brand that healthcare professionals trust. Cell Life. That's CELLIFE from leading chemists and Amazon.
Hi, Brett Ebert here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. There's a lot to like about Mawson Lakes Mazda. They'll take care of you with next day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash. And your breakfast or lunch is on them. Your car gets the love too with their state-of-the-art service centre, brimming with top-trained mechanics. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, they'll look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
Our place is your place at the Albion Hotel. Your place to raise a glass to a big sporting win, a milestone birthday, or just making it through the week. Cheers. Your place to bring the entire family, including the kids and grandkids, for an amazing meal together. Your place to sit back and just soak it all in. The Albion Hotel. Your local, your people, your place.
How far would you go for your dream kitchen? And how far would you go to not deal with organising all the trades? How about 15 minutes up the freeway to Balhanna Kitchens by Design? to the largest showroom in the Adelaide Hills. Custom build your dream with our award-winning designers. Plus, we can manage the installation and all sub-trades at a fixed price. Balhanna Kitchens by Design. It's not too far to go to make your dream a reality. balhannakitchens.com.au.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
23 minutes after 4 on this Tuesday, the Willie Rioli story has been developing over the last 48 hours. You can have your say, 8223 0000. The AFL did not hand down a sanction for Rossdale Homes, SA's most trusted. Custom design, fixed pricing and total peace of mind, because trust is a must. Let's check your roads around Adelaide.
Afternoon at Parafield Gardens, a breakdown Kings Road into Salisbury Highway, slow going affecting outbound there. Richmond a crash, Marion Road near Richmond Road, and Athelston a burst, Watermain Gorge Road near Kirkview Road. Glenelg East urging Gasworks, Anzac Highway to Morford Road with the Camera Bolivar Road at Burton. This end of financial year, make it a Mercedes-Benz with exceptional offers across the range. Terms and conditions apply, excludes all electric and hybrid models. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Let's go to your call, Salisbury Heights. G'day, Marty.
Oh, how are you, gentlemen? Yeah, I'm just getting a little bit worried that the if you've got the AFL looking after you, or you're an MP that takes drugs, there seems to be a different set of rules. We've got a real epidemic, mate, of violence and threats taking place on social media, and where young kids taking their lives. And I'm just not sure that the examples, AFL players, Mr. Rioli especially, is that they seem to be making a lot of excuses for him because he brings his past into and everyone's making all these excuses, and he's basically got a get out of jail free card, mate. These people are in the public eye. They have got to set an example, and the AFL, and I agree with Rowey, if you're a member of a union, oh mate, and he got done for domestic violence, sending bad text messages to his missus, mate, this guy needs to be stood down. But I just want to make a suggestion. It's like driving. You get 12 points, okay? If you get caught doing something, you lose 3 points, whatever. So if you're calling this a minor thing, the guy gets 3 points. And when he gets to 12 points, he loses his licence and he cops a ban. Therefore, the players have got something to look forward to and something to restrain their behaviour.
And Marty, at least there's a system around what you just said. I think what's happened with the AFL,
there is no system.
As the years have gone on, they've sort of taken this high ground that they want to sit there and say, okay, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. But I don't think they put any system around it. Now, Marty's just suggested, well, do it like the driver's licence. It's the old 12 points, you're up, you're out sort of thing. So
at least it's something.
At least it's something. But I think that's what the AFLPA have been asking for.
Well, we're a big organisation and we have a HR team that are in Sydney. This would have gone straight to the HR team and the workforce. So there would have been ramifications immediately. So that's the real world. So it makes me think, has the AFL lost touch with society? I mean, you're right, they govern themselves. Does this pass the pub test? So this isn't against Willie. It's not Willie's fault the AFL and Port said no. Forget all of that. That's playing another game. But this doesn't pass the pub test. And when is the AFL going to read the room? Read the room, dudes.
Let's go to David.
Is that a fair call?
At Highgate. Go, David.
Dave.
Yeah, g'day, guys. I was just going to do a compare the pair with, but there's another one comes to mind. I was going to do Tex Walker in this particular incident. So Tex makes a comment about someone, and someone heard it within earshot. That was all smooth over between the two players. Did he get 6 or 12 weeks? I can't remember. But there's that one, 6 weeks. Okay. So then there was the Matt Rendell who made a comment to someone that supposedly was unsavoury. It was about Indigenous players. He basically loses his job.
He did.
This guy makes a threat, an actual threat of violence on a social media carrier against an individual person, and nothing to see here. I do not get it within the AFL organisation.
Yeah, nothing to see here. They've come out looking really weak on this one, and I reckon they'll be ruining it. Hello, Adam.
Good afternoon, guys. I am very frustrated with Willie as a Port supporter. 2 in 3 weeks. He's done this, put himself into the spotlight. Port Adelaide need to take him aside. I don't know how many times they've done it so far, but it's not working. Terrible distraction leading up to Showdown. Shocking. And let me just give you a few points. Firstly, if that was an AFL umpire getting threats like that, I bet the biggest stick would have come out from the AFL. Their double standards is alarming, absolutely alarming. And where's the AFL Players Association? Toothless tiger. I mean, come on, don't go one way. Don't sit on the fence with this issue. This issue is a society issue where, with so many horrible things going on in society, a lot of social media threats, which sometimes turn out to be realistic. The other thing too is, I'll get to this point. If my son was threatened like that from an opposing player on the footy field, I'd not only take it to the league, I'd go to police. I would press charges because threats should be considered extremely serious. I don't care whether it's on social media or not. Those sorts of threats in this day and age should be knocked on the head, and the AFL are disgraceful. They are incompetent. This is the worst thing they've ever done in my knowledge of following AFL football. The transparency is now as low as you can get in regards to their integrity, and they say no sanction. No, in my opinion, Taylor Walker gets 6 for what he did a few years ago. This guy should have, and it was his second little mistake that he made. He's an experienced player now. He's not a 19-year-old kid. You know, he should have got a whack by the AFL. He should be out for a month at least to think about his actions.
Adam, thank you. Yeah, a lot of people really strong on this. It's an own goal by the AFL and Port Adelaide.
It makes a lot of good points there. I mean, if it was your son who played AFL, got those threats, you'd be pretty upset about it.
I've been on the end of threats in this job, in this chair.
You have.
And you know that. I've had things happen to my house. I've been seconded in streets and all that, so I know how serious they are. And look, it is. They're unsavoury. Now, again, I'm not defending Willie. He's had a bad month. I love the kid. And I love the family.
And if you've met him...
Oh, God, he's the most...
It shocks you, doesn't it? Those
delightful...
Those moments
warm,
shock you because exactly.
Yeah. Comes up, hugs you.
I think Adams is like a lot of people. They're frustrated because they just want to see him play great footy.
Of course they do. Hello, Brian.
G'day, guys. Just, I'm not a social media fan by any means. It doesn't shine any good light on Willie for what's taken place. So we've got the actual truth and the evidence of exactly what's taken place, or we've just got a media beat up of what's actually taken place.
Keep listening after 4:30. We've got Shane McGuinness from 3AW. He's all over it. These are facts.
Okay, so
you've got to talk facts in these situations because they hurt people, Brian.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Rowey, I understand. I think the guy is a quality person. So I'm really interested to hear the facts that Willie Rioli had an issue with an opponent player. What, because he was having a good day and the team was winning? Or what did he actually do to create this situation?
Yeah, well, I think only Willie knows that. I don't think anyone's drilled down to that side of it, Brian. But stay with us. We'll get Shane McGuinness on from 3AW. He has the facts.
Absolutely right. 4:30 headlines. We'll keep taking your calls in the next half hour as well.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon. Mel Usher with the 5AA News headlines. There's been a large drug bust at a house in Edwardstown. Another high-rise is planned in the CBD, a block of shops on the corner of Pulteney Street and Hindmarsh Square in the developer's sites. New details about the infamous mushroom lunch at Erin Patterson's Victorian home were revealed in court today at her triple murder trial. And in sport, at the NBA playoffs, there have been wins for the New York Knicks and Denver Nuggets. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Charmin Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
Afternoon at Parafield Gardens, a breakdown Kings Road at the Salisbury Highway. Pretty slow going through there. Crash at Richmond to look out for. Marion Road near Richmond Road. Athelson, Burst Watermain Gorge Road near Kirkview Road. And slow going at the moment for Gasworks at Glenelg East. It's on Anzac Highway to Morford Road. She's a busy intersection anyway, so avoid if you can the Savo. Canberra South Terrace, Paraka too. Panadol helps relieve everyday pain. Not the pain of your daily commute, but for the migraine headache it gives you. Panadol's got you covered. Always read the label and follow the directions for use. Incorrect use could be harmful. Adelaide's most accurate traffic. on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, a shower or two tonight down to 15, showers easing tomorrow 21. Right now it's 21 degrees. We'll have more news at 5 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
What a bizarre news cycle today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Just imagine a year ago, these things are all at one time knocking around. Earthquake in Adelaide. Alcatraz, the prison, will be reopened by the US president.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
Movies made in Australia by American companies will have tariffs applied to them.
5AA Breakfast.
And what in the heck is happening in our oceans?
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
It's a fact. There are thousands of medium-sized homes all over Adelaide that have old-style, inefficient heating and cooling. So, upgrade now with Mannix. Get a super-efficient, top-quality ducted reverse cycle air conditioning system now and be comfortable all year round from an incredible $7,990 fully installed with our 10-year installation guarantee. Conditions apply. But don't delay. Prices are rising. Buy now and save. From the SA name you know and trust.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. Here's who you can support around Adelaide. Give dinner a spin at Roulette's Tavern. Every Wednesday night, choose any pasta for only $19. Roulette's Tavern, next to Pal's, Kings Road, Parafield. Every 4 minutes, one Australian has a heart attack or stroke. That's why the Heart Foundation recommends a heart health check. Book it in with your GP today and never miss a beat. 5AA, supporting local business.
The Great Caravan and RV end of financial year sale is on now at Camper Agent RV Supercentre. It's the biggest sale event of the year with up to $20,000 off selected new caravans and motorhomes. Plus, up to $20,000 off selected pre-owned motorhomes and camper vans. Unbeatable value with a 3-year warranty available on eligible models. Shop from top names like Winnebago, Windsor, Corrible, Hitchhiker and X-Tour. Ends June 30. T's and C's apply. Only at Camper Agent RV Supercentre, Parafield Gardens.
Unhealthy mould spreads quickly in your bathroom. For a sparkling clean, mould-free shower, call the Grout Guy and stop it before it starts.
Hi, I'm Tim Angove from Supercraft Bedding. 5AA contacted me. I made some time to meet with them. I got on really, really well with Emma. She worked very hard to get my attention, but also really suit the message that I really wanted to display here on 5AA. During COVID, manufacturing became front of mind to everyone, but we really needed to mention to people who we are and where we are because people had lost contact with us. 5AA really brought that contact home and really got people rocking up at our doorstep almost immediately. I highly recommend small businesses, especially, to get in with 5AA. They're very much South Australian, just like us.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link for more information.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Obviously, Willie's made a mistake. He'll learn from it, and we're all okay with that. And so I think the discretion there is important, and I think that's how both clubs are treating it. And let's just learn from it and move on and make sure it doesn't happen again.
24 minutes to 5. That is Luke Beveridge, Bulldogs coach. He's okay with it. Are you okay with it? 8223 0000. Have your say. We still have 5AA Locker Room Showdown tickets to give away in tonight's show, so stay listening for your chance to win. But right now, thanks to Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits, life is better with your pals.
I read this tweet today from Shane McGuinness. Flipping the bird, $1,000. Mad Monday dress-ups, 2 to 4 weeks. Threaten physical harm, ... non-issue. 3AW Shane McGuinness, welcome.
Hello, guys. Good to be with you.
Yeah, it doesn't quite add up, does it?
No, it doesn't. It's, again, not a good look. And I don't get how the AFL is coming up with its penalties and punishments. It's almost like they're pressing a randomizer to make these penalties at the moment. But I find it incredible that a player can threaten another one and not be fined whatsoever. For there to be absolutely no penalty is bewildering to me. And again, the AFL always wants to set a good example to the younger audience. This doesn't set a good example.
Doesn't pass the pub test at the very minimum. So for our new listeners that aren't over this, just give us the facts. Was it on Twitter? Was it on Facebook? Give us the general messaging. Just give us a bit more of the background of the facts, Shane, so people can make their own minds up.
So obviously Willie Rioli and Bailey Dale had a fair bit of 2 and 4 during the game at Ballarat on the weekend. That's fine. What stays on the field happens on the field. Clearly, Willie Rioli wasn't happy with what transpired on the weekend, then sent a message via a social media service to one of Bailey Dale's Western Bulldogs teammates. In that message, and again, I have to leave out some of the more inappropriate words, but basically saying, I have lots of friends in the NT. He, as in Bailey Dale, should be careful about leaving the hotel in Darwin next week. Basically, if Bailey Dale leaves his hotel, my friends might do him some harm. Now, the fact that has even been transposed and sent to another Western Bulldogs player, that is a no-no. That is completely out of line for one player to threaten another in the Australian Football League. It has to be. If it's not, we've got a big problem.
We had a caller ring up, Shane, and just say, any sort of threat to anybody has got to be taken very seriously. It just seems to me, you called it a randomiser. Paul Marsh, the AFLPA CEO, came in earlier this year and just said, they want some sort of structure around the penalty system because there is none currently, and it just seems like, today it just feels like you're going to get 2, and tomorrow you might get 4 for the same thing. How can they actually get a system? We had a guy ring up and say, you have misdemeanors on your driver's licence, you get 3 points deducted. Now, I don't know. They've got to put some sort of system around this to stop the inconsistency.
They're out of touch with public sentiment, I think, Tim. And again, you go, all right, so Nick Watson and Bailey Smith get $1,000 for giving the bird. I have no issue with that. Don't give the finger to the stand. Josh Fay playing dress-ups with Greater Western Sydney last year. It was inappropriate, went a little bit far. He got 4 weeks for it. Noah Bolter assaulted someone. He got 4 weeks.
Yeah.
How do those two things equate to each other? One player last year, Will Powell, got 5 weeks for making a homophobic slur. Now, I have no issue with that. It is completely inappropriate to make that slur by Will Powell. But the fact of the matter is, when you threaten someone else and say that we might get my mates onto him, that is out of line, and that has to be penalised. Yet, according to the AFL, nothing to see here. That's no issue.
Said to Rowey earlier, it seems like over the last 20 years, the AFL have sort of taken on this role of all-encompassing, what's right, what's wrong, and now they've put themselves almost into a corner where they have to almost set the AFL rules of the land because, if you look at the laws of the land, they sort of got their own little world.
They absolutely do. But I think that there is a synergy between what public expectation is and what the AFL should be doing. Again, a lot of people agreed when Will Powell was suspended for 5 weeks for a homophobic slur. People thought, yep, great, that sends a message. Yet when Josh Fay was suspended for 4 weeks for dressing up and doing an act with a sex doll, so that did then get 4 weeks as well. People are like, hold on, no one's really been hurt here. Was it appropriate? Was it a bit offensive? Sure. But did anyone get hurt? No. So, again, you kind of have to look at public sentiment, and you really wonder, and you're right, Jim, how does the AFL derive these penalties? This is where I come back to the randomiser.
Yeah.
How do you derive these penalties? And I'll be honest with you, it's not just on the AFL here. If Port Adelaide is fair dinkum, they come out and go, no, Willie, you cannot do that. Sorry, mate, 2 weeks on the sidelines. And you know what? You want to threaten another player in this competition again, you won't be playing for this football club. Come down hard and send a message. Whereas the AFL released a statement saying, they apologised and we just want them to be careful about what they say to each other. No, that's not good enough. That doesn't reflect society. It needs to, and they need to get better.
No one's suggesting for 1 second this is rules for some and rules for others. The race card is always played in this, which makes it unsavoury, Shane.
Yeah. It is unsavoury. Absolutely it is. But what is the mitigating circumstance here? Now, I agree with you. There is nothing to say that there is anything to say that a race card is being played. Is it something to do with mental health? Is it, does the AFL really not think there is anything in this? So these are the questions that kind of come before us. Does the AFL, Andrew Dillon and Laura Kane, do they fair think and believe that, he just made an off-the-cuff threat, nothing in it? Do they talk to Port Adelaide and the Players Association and go, oh, no, we really don't want to penalise Willie Rioli. He's been through enough. What is it? I don't know what it is.
Well, they need to explain, don't they? I think they need to explain. The most text we get on this is the old 2 sets of rules, AFL misdemeanors. There needs to be guidelines. The AFLPA has said it. You're saying it. We're saying it. It doesn't pass the sniff test, the pub test, any test, the HR test. It's just weak. Shane, you're a star. Thanks for your time.
Pleasure as always, guys. Talk soon.
He's a ripper, Shane McGuinness there, 3AWs. A lot of people want to have their say, and he was our pal.
He was. When you're after that special drop, you can trust your pals to have it at Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life is better with your pals.
Yeah, and it is sad that it goes down that race road. I mean, it's going down there 100 miles an hour on the text line. Caller's the same. It's got nothing to do with that.
Who caused it, though?
Well, Willie said it, but the AFL's weakness, and probably Ports, is the reason. So I want people to put their attention on that, not on Willie.
Spot on.
Would you agree with that?
The action wasn't great.
No,
as we
and
said,
Willie knows
it's
that.
unsavoury.
He's been dragged over
and on the
coals.
back of the previous 2 weeks, you sort of go, nah, learn your lesson.
And he didn't.
Put the phone away.
And he didn't.
And he didn't put the phone away.
No.
So, and he texted or messaged angry. And that's always, it's never going to come out good.
But don't
like I
play
said,
the man, I'm trying
always
to say.
that you write the letter, let it go, wake up in the morning, have a look at it and go, no, I'm not going to send that.
But don't play the man on this one. Hello, Scott.
Yeah, g'day, boys. As usual, Shane stole my thunder. The Port Arthur Football Club, I'm a foundation member, very disappointed, won the last few years, bitterly disappointed. This is an opportunity wasted from Port Adelaide to make a statement, and Shane just said that, and that's what disappoints him more than anything.
Yep.
They come out, they don't wait for the AFL, they don't wait for anybody. They come out and go, oi, come here, you got 2 weeks, you go and see the HR guy, you go and get some help if you need it, you ain't playing, and you're coming back through the twos. No questions.
Yeah, Scotty, that's strong. But again, everyone says it's a workplace. It's a workplace environment. It's professional. You say it all the time. I still try to think it's a sport.
Foot club, yeah.
What's on the field stays on the field, old school. But it's not. HR, in any department, even mine at Complete with Screens would be all over it. You can't threaten a worker.
Squizzy, the great Damien Squire, Squizzy, he's contributed. He said the Amateur League, the Adelaide Footy League, they, and this is true, they actually have a point system for players where, depending on the misdemeanor, if you get, I think it's more than 14 games, you're wiped from the comp. You can't play anywhere. Can't play anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's to rule out the thuggery, and I'll tell you what, they have done a good job, and it's been really good because people know, I'm up to 8 games. I'm in the danger zone here. Yeah. I've got to be careful. At least it's a system, and they make it work.
This is the best text. Guys, Ken Hinkley gets 20 grand for making an airplane noise. It's just embarrassing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hello, Edge.
G'day, Vass. G'day, Timmy. How are you, mate? Sorry, mate.
Oh, mate, if you keep calling me Vass, it's going to stick.
Well, it's not supposed to.
It's going to stick. Hey, listen, boys, very disappointing with the footy club. A young fan throws a piece of paper and Alien gets a year banned. Someone threatens your life and it's okay. Port needs to set the guidelines down. Willie, you have an arrest. Go get some R&R. Go get some self-healing. Not good enough, boys. You know, our young kids are watching this game and think, it's okay to threaten someone. It'll be all right. I won't get in trouble.
Hey, Ange, I actually think that young fella got 2 years, and it was the stadium that banned him.
Yep.
Which is...
Yeah, but still...
I agree with you. There's no consistency. But we can't blame that one on the AFL, I suppose, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, then Shane has... Yeah, sorry, Ange. And then this comes through from Shane. Yes, you got to play the man, Rowey. He's protected. Prior form. Have to play the man. Stop treading on eggshells. Well, Shane, what eggshells are we treading on? I think we've been quite strong, haven't we? Haven't we?
Yeah, I think everyone's wanting to get these passionate thoughts off their chest. We'll keep taking your calls after the break. 8223 0000. If you want to have your opinion, we would love to hear it. It is 14 minutes to 5. We'll check your roads around Adelaide.
Afternoon at Parafield Gardens, a breakdown on Kings Road to the Salisbury Highway. Richmond, a crash there. Marion Road near Richmond Road. Athelston, Perth Bottomane Gorge Road near Kirkview Road. And urgent gas works at what is a pretty busy intersection anyway at Glenelg East, Anzac Highway at Morpher Road. Try and avoid that tonight if you can. Cameras, Ifold Road, Elizabeth Park and Nelson Road at Ingle Farm. Where can you find the best local produce, great specials and food from around the world? Only at the market, Adelaide Central Market. Open Tuesdays till Saturdays. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
AutoCam. Look, this is real cutting-edge stuff.
AutoCam. It's new from Automasters.
Real-time video with a real-time report on my car.
Real-time video sent direct to you from your Automasters technician.
Check this out. There's the problem, there's the quote, and here you go, approved.
So good. Totally transparent instant SMS approval and Automasters pay later options.
AutoCam. The future of vehicle servicing here now. Call 1300 Automasters.
Hi, Brett Ebert here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. We've been doing deals on a huge range of 2024 plate Mazdas, and we've just received truckloads more of them, all priced to clear. These drive-away deals on new Mazdas include free 12 months rego, free stamp duty, and accessory packs worth $500. Yep, absolutely free. All exclusive to Mawson Lakes Mazda. No gimmicks, just great deals. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, T's and C's apply.
Less pear.
More Pinot.
Less Crom.
More canapes.
Less Marks.
More marquees.
Less Ferrells.
More frocks.
This Saturday, skip the footy and have a real ball at the Sportsbet Goodwood Day, home to the nation's finest horse racing, May 10.
More
Morfettville.
There's lots of benefits with WEA face-to-face learning. For example, you can ask a question and get an answer immediately. Now try asking YouTube a question. WEA has 22 language courses on offer and over 80 cooking and wine appreciation courses. How about learning subdividing land and property development, gardening in a changing climate, or music and performing arts for hobbies? For face-to-face learning you'll love, visit wea-sa.com.au.
Kangaroo Island. It's best enjoyed getting up close to nature, escaping with friends, enjoying the serenity and celebrating milestones together. Unpretentious, unexpected, untamed. Experience Kangaroo Island unfiltered. Book your self-drive getaway now at sealink.com.au.
Join the great cover-up and get a Walco Guardian pool cover. Made right here in SA, a Walco Guardian pool cover will preserve your chemicals, keep your water clean, and you won't need to run your pump. Put your pool to bed for winter. Visit walco.com.au.
Check this out.
Real-time video with a real-time report on my car.
There's the problem, there's the quote, and here you go, approved.
So good. Totally transparent instant SMS approval and Automasters pay later options.
AutoCam. New from Automasters.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
He's played angry this year. He just hasn't seemed himself. And we saw the outburst at the Hawthorn situation. We've seen an outburst here. So, you just wonder if he needs some time away from the game.
Matthew Lloyd last night on Footy Classified. It's 9 minutes to 5. We'll get Campo's view on Willie Rioli's situation after 5 o'clock. But right now we're getting yours with your calls 8223 0000.
So is he lucky, or it was just an idle threat, whoopsie-doo, on social media, or Port and AFL, they should have stood up? They haven't. Hello, Greg.
G'day, guys. I'm a Port member and, Port tragic, and a huge fan of Willie. Is a great player for us, so it brings me no joy to say this, but I reckon the club just needs to stand up, and especially for Willie's welfare as much as anything, take him out of the situation where it's not just any game coming up, it's the Showdown. We all know, the blowtorch is really going to be on. 50,000 people, Adelaide Oval. What concerns me is potentially there'll be boos for Willie, and he'll really be in the firing line with the crowd. It's just not a situation that I think would potentially be great for him at the moment. He's definitely done the wrong thing, but my concern's really with Willie's welfare, and I think the club just needs to front up and say, do we want him in a Showdown type scenario at least this week? I think he needs to take a bit of time out.
Well, there's a bit to play out. Who's to say that might not be wrong? But think of Bailey Dale as well. So he's going to go up to Darwin, that threat's out there for all to read and see. It's only going to take a couple little fellas across the fence to yell something out, or they're at the pub, or he's walking down the road, he's having a coffee, and someone notices him, he's in his bulldog stuff, and you just don't know.
Well, the same token, Greg makes a very good point. I mean, Showdowns are
They're
heightened as it is, regardless of whether you've got something prior to actually attack. So, yeah, thanks for your call, Greg. Let's go to Tyrone.
Tyrone.
Good afternoon, boys. Now, there's an old saying, if you have the, shoe on the other foot. Now, with all that I'm listening to, what's going on here, you imagine if a Caucasian bloke had done what Willie's done, then I would suggest the AFL would be saying to him, tell your story walking, mate. There would have been a huge uproar over this. I just don't understand. It shouldn't make any difference either way.
Yeah. Nah, Tyrone, you're right. We're getting countless ones like this. This is Clive in the Hunter Valley. If I went to work tomorrow and threatened someone, I'd get sacked. I mean, that's fact.
Well, you'd certainly be brought before
you'd be in a bit of strife. You'd be in a bit of strife, no question. Hello, Ian.
G'day, guys. I just want to put my 2 cents worth in. You just hit the nail on the head, Rowey. If you say anything towards that sort of thing, you're out the door straight away. And the other foot, what happens if this guy goes up there and he does get touched up by Rioli's bloody, friends and relations or whatever? What happens then? I mean, seriously, it's not right. This is breaking the laws of the land. It's not just the AFL laws; it's the law of the land. You can't go around threatening people.
Yeah.
End of story. And that's the way it is. So the police should be involved and going up to him and go, hey, this is not it. This is not right. You got to no. It's not right, mate. It's not right.
Yeah, it's
we certainly hope that none of that happens.
When it first broke, let's be honest, Timmy, the pair of us, when it first broke, I thought, oh, well, yeah, okay. And then you get a bit more meat in the bone, and then there was a statement. And I read out the Port statement, you read out the AFL statement, and I thought to myself, oh, well, fair enough, okay. They didn't sweep it under the carpet as far as they've acknowledged it. It happened. Willie rang Bailey Dale. We don't know what that conversation was like.
He apologised.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Luke Beveridge has come on, the coach. He said, nah, you know what? He's a great lad. He's a good lad. They sorted out. It spilled over. He should have done. Now we were quite forgiving. I was.
They were short and sharp.
So why have I changed in 24 hours?
Yeah, they were short and sharp with what they did. What you found out more is about what was written.
No, well, yeah. No, but I think I knew. We knew everything yesterday. We read those things out. So why are we more inflamed today than what we were yesterday when I read out that statement? Because why didn't I do this yesterday?
Well, I think
you know what I'm saying? Something's happened.
Well, I'll tell you what's happened. Everybody brings up the previous cases that AFL have sanctioned.
Yeah.
And everybody sees the inequity on it and says, well, what's going on?
Because in isolation, you probably suggest that, okay, if this was a one-off and we hadn't seen other discretions where the AFL's tried to play the high ground, as you've suggested, Tim, maybe it doesn't look so bad. But when you do put it against everything else and the AFL's been trying to act like they are their own police, it can be a really murky water to step into.
They've set several precedences that have no consistency. And that's why people are inflamed about it, because they're starting to see, well, hang on, that's not the same as that.
Yep.
I mean, you heard Shane McGuinness say, like, how can one guy do an act for the GWS and get nothing, get a fine, and the other one get 4 weeks?
That's right. And they went to the same dress-up, the same Mad Monday. It was just the degree of,
And the player probably wasn't a standout player.
That's it.
Lesser known player, so maybe he gets the biggest sanction.
So if Toby Green had worn that same costume, what would his sanction been?
Well, he got a fine for his involvement as being a leader.
He didn't stop it.
So that's what's inflamed it.
And the AFL statement, a reminder for those who missed it yesterday, ended with, it has reminded both clubs to ensure any communications remain respectful. You could put that in any statement, really, around being respectful and that being a slap on the wrist. You sort of go, well, why weren't the other cases addressed in that way as well? 8223 0000. We'll get to more of your calls after the 5 o'clock news, and then Scotty Campo will join us in studio.
Rowey and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
Here at FIVEAA, we're all about supporting local. The Excelsior Hotel has 20% seniors discount on meals 12 till 3 Monday to Friday and all day weekends. The Excelsior Hotel Brompton feels like coming home, but better.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Supercars thunder back to the Bend September 12 to 14 for the first ever 500-kilometre enduro. 3 epic days of non-stop fun at the Bend 500. But it's more than just racing. With family-friendly entertainment, trackside camping and full throttle action. It's a weekend-long party, but you'll need to hurry. Holiday Park, sold out. First release camping, gone. But a fresh drop of premium dragway and new trackside spots just landed, so you'll have to act fast. Lock in your Bend 500 tickets and camping now at thebend.com.au.
Every 4 minutes, one Australian suffers a heart attack or stroke. But knowing your risk is the first step to a healthier heart. That's why the Heart Foundation is encouraging you to get a heart health check this Heart Week. It's a simple 20-minute checkup with your GP. So book a heart health check today and never miss a beat.
When you think of single malt Scotch whisky, you might imagine Scotland's green hills, her fresh babbling brooks, and rows of oak barrels. But you can get the same feeling right here in Adelaide when you walk down the aisles at Powell's. Sam and Jamie from Parafield Airport Liquor Store know every drop on the shelf. They can guide you through Scotland's best whisky labels and the best from around the globe, all under one roof. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Powell's, next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
Let's see what's in the swear jar at Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens. Here's one from Jasmine, the operations manager at Buy Urban and the driving force behind the success of all renovation projects. Jasmine swears to ensure all the trades arrive on time, every time, to ensure a seamless transition to your stunning Buy Urban bathroom. For a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
Mario Maiolo Promotions and 5AA present Blowin' in the Wind, honouring Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Bob Dylan with friends Johnny Cash, Joan Baez and the Travelling Wilburys. Come celebrate the legends who contributed to cultural change through inspired lyrics and songs of revolution with an amazing cast. The times they're a-changing, folks, so don't think twice because it's all right. Blowin' in the Wind, Her Majesty's Theatre, Friday 23rd of May. Book now at Ticketek.
When deciding on a gas fireplace for your home heating, you may think they all look the same. Well, at the gas shop, we're more than happy to
turn the lights down low. So you can see how different each one is. That's a beautiful thing. Heating, cooking, comfort, turn on to the gas shop. 161 Unley Road, opposite Target.
The very latest news and information. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
A shower or two tonight, down to 15. Showers easing tomorrow, 21. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. A lucky escape for a pilot and his passenger. They made an emergency landing in a Port Pirie paddock this afternoon after suffering engine failure. Both have emerged unhurt. A block of shops on the corner of Pulteney Street and Hindmarsh Square in the city is in the developer's sights. They want to build a 35-storey building on the land, which would include student accommodation. At the moment, it's home to several businesses, including Clarity Records. The new Adelaide Aquatic Centre is expected to create up to 300 jobs when it opens next summer. The YMCA will manage the facility. They also run the Aquatic Centre at Oaklands Park. Infrastructure Minister Tom Koutsantonis says it will be an amazing complex.
What I think you're going to find at the end of it is an aquatic centre that is world-class, with world-class operators who are going to give us the best recreation centre anywhere in the country.
New details about the infamous mushroom lunch at Erin Patterson's Victorian home were revealed in court today at her triple murder trial. More from Kiara Parker.
The man who survived the ordeal in 2023 has spent today in the witness box giving evidence. Ian Wilkinson said he and his wife Heather were happy to be invited to the lunch,
describing their relationship with Erin Patterson as more like acquaintances. He told court Erin rejected help when it came to plating the beef Wellingtons, allegedly spiked with death cap mushrooms. He noted Erin's meal was served on a different coloured, smaller plate, but couldn't say how much of the food she ate. The pastor said the guests prayed together after Erin told them she had cancer, which wasn't true. Under cross-examination, he agreed that it was a normal lunch and nothing out of the ordinary happened on the day. Ian Wilkinson also spoke about being crippled by vomiting and diarrhoea afterwards, thinking it was gastro. The 50-year-old mother of two has pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder.
Donald Trump is walking back his declaration he'll impose the 100% tariff on films made outside the United States. The White House confirming the president will meet with industry executives before finalising the decision. Mr Trump says the US needs to reclaim film and entertainment.
I'm not looking to hurt the industry. I want to help the industry. But they're given financing by other countries. They're given a lot of things. And the industry was decimated. If you look at how little is done in this country now.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Showdown week continues. Port had a light training run today. Jace Burgoyne says they're feeling confident heading into the local derby.
It's just contest and defence for us. That's how one would. And, you know, when we play our best footy, that's when our contest is on and our defence is sharp. So, yeah, to be able to, I guess, try lift in that aspect, then, you know, we're going to be pretty happy going to games.
Collingwood's Brodie Majacek won't face Fremantle in Perth on Thursday night due to an abdominal strain. Coach Craig McRae says Jordan De Goey will be managed.
No, Geordie will just be managed this game. We're sort of like one step forward, one step back with Geordie at the moment. We'd like to be going a bit faster than what we are with him, but we've got to play the long game. Grant's fine. He's sort of managing loads. The plan is to get him going in the coming weeks, and this is part of that.
Braden Maynard and Scott Pendlebury will also be managed this week. And Australian Formula One rookie Jack Doohan has reportedly lost his seat at Alpine just 6 races into the season. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the big white building, still at 412 North East Road.
At Wingfield, cars get into a ditch on the Port River Expressway near the North-South Motorway. Parafield Garner to break down Kings Road into Salisbury Highway. Burst water main at Athelston Gorge Road near Kirkview Road and Glenelg. Super slow through there. What is an already busy intersection due to gasworks, Anzac Highway near Morford Road. Cameras, Australia Avenue, Modbury and Andrews Road at Andrews Farm. It's mayhem at Petstock right now with up to 30% off selected dog and cat food. Yep, up to 30% off. T's and C's apply only at Petstock, the blue one. No, I'm just saying. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 15 tonight with a shower or two. Showers easing tomorrow 21. Thursday cloud clearing and 20. Friday sunny and 21. Right now it's 20 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, ray attacks, shark beachings and dead sea life. The shocking impact of the algal bloom. Hundreds of jobs on offer at the new Adelaide Aquatic Centre. Port Adelaide legend Gavin Wanganeen weighs in on Showdown 57. The surprising benefits of the shingles vaccine and all the glitz and glamour of the Met Gala. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
6 minutes after 5 on this Tuesday night, still to come, your chance to win your way to the Showdown on Saturday with the 5AA Locker Room Double Pass to give away in this hour. Ned McHenry's going to join us in studio as well tonight, and DJ Vasilovich is here in town with the Aussie Boomers and the Aussie Opals at the Entertainment Centre tomorrow night. We'll talk about that and keep taking your calls, 8223 0000. And if you're watching live on the Adrian Bryan Hyundai live stream, you'll notice on YouTube and Facebook right now we have a new face in the studio.
On the 5AA Sports Show, this is Coach's Corner with Scott Campo. Thanks to Unique Homestyle Foods, proudly baking for hundreds of South Australian businesses for 35 years. Greatness in the making.
Sir, here's welcome, young man.
Thank you. Good to be here.
We're going to get onto that flogging
what
your
about
team
this
got.
studio?
Yeah, flash. It's flash.
Wow.
It's pretty nice.
Bit flash for us. Do you like the chairs? It's a bit high.
I don't mind a high chair.
Okay.
What I am having trouble with is the microphone, and then I'm looking down at my notes. I need sort of something like
bit
this
jarring
screen.
for you.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
it gets in the way.
Yeah, good call.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, all right.
Gee,
We'll
if you
fix
complain,
that.
file a complaint to the tech department.
Third world problems.
Yeah.
We're talking about
First world
HR.
problems.
Where do you sit with the Willie Rioli thing in the AFL and Port Adelaide? And...
It's. I mean, I was sitting in the area there with Justin before. I mean, it's a pretty strong consensus, isn't it, around what
It's
everyone's
failed the
feeling.
pub test.
Yeah, correct. So, I don't know. I'm a bit like you, Timmy. Like, as an AFL industry, we want to be at the forefront of all these issues out there and be a spokesperson and be ahead of the game with profile and what we do really well. But it just seems that we're just dropping the ball on a few of these things for mine. You know, so,
absolutely. And a lot of people are like this. Hey, when are the AFL pounced in a stop online bullying round? Now they've opened themselves up for that because
I said they want to be they want to be all encompassing, and unfortunately, don't have a structure for it.
Yeah,
and therefore you're going to get.
Well, does that surprise you, though?
inconsistency.
Because they don't have a real... Well, they've got a structure which is outdated for the MRO as well.
Correct. So
they're not getting that right either.
So if they can't get that one right, how are they going to get all of these?
I think
the
need to earn
moral
their money.
issues right.
They need to earn their money. They need to earn their money. Well, they don't. I don't think they do. Hey, let's talk footy. My mob smashed your old mob. That was as... well, Crows had a very good game against Carlton.
No, thank you. No, that's fair enough.
Give us the numbers because they were just through the roof.
Well, they did it in every facet.
They did.
Every the game. I mean, it was a real... I mean, if we compare the week before, you know, they were disappointing, Adelaide.
My word.
But, geez, they responded. And it was a complete performance.
Wasn't it?
Really. I mean, and even from a personnel point of view, you go through, everyone contributed. I mean, I know Nankervis got subbed out, and he was probably the one on the night that probably didn't, I guess, perform at the level. But Berry came on and had an impact as well. And I think potentially he may be important this week against Port. You know, does he, I wrote on my notes, does he potentially go
Jason Francis?
Well, I'm thinking Butters, because Butters had 40-odd and won the Showdown medal last time, if you remember, and he was by far the most dominant. And Jason's but I think with Jason is he goes forward, and so he's a harder matchup. You know, he's a bit like the Dangerfields and these guys that, you know, they're harder to somewhat follow. But, you know that Zach's going to be around the ball 90% of the time.
Back your system in, Campo. You used to say that. Back your system in.
Yeah, and they will. But I think if he does start getting out of control, the one criticism I have had is when one does get out of control, they haven't been able to put the clamps on it. So now,
does Sam do that? Is he a tagger?
He's done
I
some,
think they
he's
go
done
to
some
Peatling
negating.
first. I
Yeah,
think
probably
Peatling's done it
first.
Peatling,
yeah.
right.
I don't think Sam's really done it, but he's that inside type of player.
But he's a nice size to do it because Zach is powerful. And I think Sam's got the physical presence around the stoppage to perhaps being able to negate him.
Crows skipper Dawson from the first bounce set that scene.
Yeah, no,
he responded in a massive
Isn't
way.
it funny? You know, even the coach, Matthew Nix, I have high expectations. And the better you are, the higher expectations you have of those players to keep getting better. And there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes you've got to take a little bit of a breath and go, geez, we're asking a fair bit of him. You know, since he's come in, he was captain within 12 months. He's been arguably their most consistent player over the last couple of seasons. And he started off the season like a rocket. And people have been criticising, you know, some of his kicking and whatever. I mean, the pressure's high, you know, but I thought the balance of him being able to get forward on the weekend was great because he just adds...
So good overhead.
Well, I had a look today. Him and Dan Curtin are the top two class midfielders, contested marks in the competition. So you would talk about Dan Curtin and his development. He's actually now believing in himself. You can see that he feels like, I can play at the level now. And he's contributing more often each week now. So he's one that's definitely on the rise, but you know, Jordan Dawson, he was outstanding. I mean, we did the votes, and I was probably a little disappointed, if you've got it there, Tuggers, on that Timmy, you didn't give any votes on the weekend. So this was after the we heard this is leading into your call.
Mm.
Okay.
Have you got it?
Hang on.
I think Justin put it
non-verbal.
there.
Well,
You went non-verbal.
I don't.
It's not there.
I don't actually give the votes. Warren Treadway does.
Yeah, well,
but I may have had influence on not giving any.
So, have you got it?
Oh, we have got it.
Oh, here we go.
Be fair, our sponsors, Unique Homestyle Foods, they have high standards. Their product is high.
Yeah.
They don't tolerate mediocrity. So I'm saying, give none.
So what I did, Timmy, in that goodness of my heart, because there was about 5 or 6 that I couldn't leave out of the Crows votes, I gave them votes instead. So I added the 3-2-1.
And I caught that and play fair.
You had a double 3-2-1.
We did.
Well, I just gave a few more ones. That was all.
That does happen when you have a great win.
Well, it was. I mean,
but is that fair when you have a bad loss?
All played well.
Well, all played bad on the opposite side.
You had all played bad.
And that's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
I said to Treaders afterwards, I said, you might remember as a young fellow, I said, if we went upstairs after a really bad loss like that, I remember the official saying, nah, there'll be no awards. Straight out, bang, no awards. Nobody played well today. Bad luck. I loved it.
Yeah.
And you know what?
There was
Didn't
no
deserve
sponsors
anything.
back there, though.
Yeah, back in those days, we had sponsors.
I'm only winding you up, mate.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I can tell
But the
you
Crows
who they
did.
were.
I mean, they could. Well, it was hard to
Rashid's
split.
Deli, I think it was.
Riley O'Brien got in there. How's
how's
his game?
Well, all of it, like Michael Annie, he was stiff to miss. But anyway, and Wayne Miller, that half-back line had arguably their best game. And that's going to be a pivotal point this week in Adelaide's win or Port's demise.
Okay. You want to do the Port stuff?
Well, I
Why were
wrote
they
down
so
a couple
stinky?
of things. What I saw is that we couldn't get the ball back off of the Bulldogs. Now, they were dominant, but the big stat that I spoke to Connor Rosey about yesterday, 259 uncontested possessions to 168. So I know sometimes you've criticised that number with Port, but 91 says we just couldn't get the ball off them.
Yeah.
And in windy, difficult conditions, that was a pretty good effort by them to control play as much as they did.
Well, I thought they played the conditions better,
didn't they?
Into the breeze, they actually lowered their eyes, chip mark, worked their way up. Whereas Port
they
just seemed
kicked
to
6 into it in the third
Well, they
term.
just kept bombing it. Like they went long and it was windy and I've coached there and it's a tough place to play, no doubt about that. But it was probably a bit similar, to be fair, and that's why Carlton was so heavily reliant on contested ball. But they got beaten by Adelaide because they got done on the outside as well, and they just couldn't slow them down with either handball receives, that short 20-metre kick, which changed angles, which shifted the defence. They made the ground really big, and they've got great runners. But that was probably the disappointment. The other thing too is the midfield got spanked. I mean, that score from stoppage, 78 points, is an absolute belting.
And I think every time we get beat badly, it's that area that we get beat badly in.
Well, it's funny you should say, because I did a little bit because, I've been sort of heavy on Port with the way that they lose, right? So we talk about the why and the how.
The score from stoppage you always bring up when we got smacked by GWS at Adelaide.
It's a contested possession issue.
Yeah.
So I delved in it because, for the supporters, I guess they want to know why. So because everyone says, contested possessions are a really important number. Now that's made up of about 5 or 6 different categories. So you've got to delve into it a little bit more as to what those things are. So at the moment, Port is 17th for contested possession in the AFL, which is not a great number.
I wouldn't have thought.
You're not going to go deep in the finals if you don't get that right. So that's at minus 117. So these are differentials, and that's a thing you got to take into consideration because you're playing against the opposition that you're playing against. So that's minus 15 a game. That's a big number. That's a big number. So if I said to you, Timmy, at the start of the game, you're going to be minus 15, you're going to go, geez, we're not going to win too many. So then you're relying on uncontested possession, a little bit of class, a little bit of freaky stuff. That's not how the game is won because at the top of the tree, the contest is the top. It's how you win your own ball.
It's what every coach demands.
Correct. And so out of that, there's 2 areas that are really highlighted. One's ground ball, so they're 18th. So they're just get obliterated in that. So 17th in loose ball, hard ball 15th. So they're not even in comparison around those sort of things. And freeze against is part of contested possession because obviously when you're competing, that's when a free kick happens, right?
So you're second of the ball, giving away free kicks.
So it's
you're 18th, aren't you? Didn't we give that stat?
Last for free kicks in the AFL.
So here it is here. So freeze against 18th, 180 differential they are. So you're giving Port are giving the ball back 180 times.
Oh, that's just dumb.
Right? So then you go, okay, so where is it? What part of the ground? Because it can be,
I like
so where
this.
do you think it would be, Timmy?
Midfield.
Yeah, probably midfield.
So midfield is the main issue. So out of that 117, 68 of those come from the midfield area. So it's 39 ground ball and 39 free kicks against. So that's pretty even. So that's where it is. So then you go, okay, so what's the breakdown?
Who's the
ground ball?
culprit?
No, not the culprit. But so because this is a bit systematic, but it's also a little bit around. And I'll ask Timmy the question in a minute. So ground ball minus 39, as I said, loose ball minus 32. So once the ball gets out of that 2 or 3 metre radius, they just can't either win it, get on it, which is, when you think about the group that's in there, they're all very much in. Horn Francis, Butters, Rosie, Wines, Drew, they're all in and around there. But when it flips out, they just don't seem to have the ability to get on the next one. So that's a little bit symptomatic because these numbers have been there for a couple of seasons.
Yes, it's no...
Yeah.
So they're spreading their methods wrong around a contest.
Correct. So they're winning the hardball. So hardball, they're only -7. So they're breaking even in the contest. But when it flips out, they just can't quite...
It's not a fact that you're not going in for it.
Correct.
It's what happened after
it. Or if it gets flipped out and their pressure's really good, because normally Port's pressure's been pretty good, that gets flipped outside and it might not go to a person, but it hits the ground and then the opposition pick it up and run away with it. So then you go to the freeze. So minus 180. So if you have a look at the breakdown, so out of that 180, they're 18th for high tackles, so minus 52.
That's technique, isn't it?
Well, I'll ask you that question in a minute. Holding the ball, minus 38. Holding the man, minus 35. They're the main instigators. And then illegal shepherding. They're all bottom 4 in the competition. Wow. So range from 18 to sort of 16.
You need a tackle coach, mate.
And the other one is after disposal. So that's 16th.
That's discipline.
So I've got the question here, Tim. Is it discipline or is it technique? Because the end result is, one, you're giving the ball back to the opposition through the midfield in really dangerous spots. So now you're trying to defend and or score if you do win it back. And if you have a look at where they're giving the ball back, forward 50, 14th, midfield 15th, and D50, 15th. So it's across the board where they're actually giving some of those free kicks away. They're the 17th worst team in the competition. They've given away 17 goals from free kicks, which is not a great number. So not only are you giving the ball back, you're actually getting scored against in those areas. So not to be doom and gloom, but I just thought it's a worthwhile exercise.
Those numbers really cheer me up.
Can I cheer?
Oh, mate, I'm bouncing into Saturday.
No, I'm just trying to explain because people would go contested possession, but what is it? You know,
it's got to be. It's got to be a combo of the discipline and the technique. Now, after disposal is purely discipline.
Yep.
You got to sharpen that up. But some of the other stuff I'd like to see the examples of, as in
vision.
Footage and vision, because then you would say, okay, mate, every time you tackle, you don't get low enough. Every time you're taking the head off.
Well, there's some of those ones, you know, like holding the ball, because most teams want to use their legs and whatever. So that one's, I'm not too concerned about.
And the interpretation at the moment's a bit loose.
Correct. Holding the man, I reckon that's a bit discipline. Like some of the, you know, because if you're giving away them in your D50 and you're giving away easy goals, which is more often
can be
not
panic too.
Well, it's not often giving away a holding the man free kick in your forward 50. I'd be staggered if that happens. So it's mainly through the midfield, maybe around stoppage, you know, a little bit around stoppage, but also in your D50. But illegal shepherd.
So you're telling me that we're a chance?
No, I'm just. What I guess all I'm doing, Timmy, is I've spoken a lot about contested possession and ground ball. I guess I'm just trying to drill down for the listeners that these are the factual numbers and where is it and where do they apply, rather than just go, contested ball. Well, that's good, because as you said, sometimes we're really close in some of those things.
So in the break, I'm going to ask Scotty Campriali, does he have a betting account? Because Crow's 40 plus looks juicy for me. $4.70.
Just don't do it. Don't get involved. Gamble. Now, somebody asked, are you allowed to bet?
Yeah, of course I can.
Just for the listener, you are allowed to bet, but it's got to be 2 hours prior to the game.
I don't have a betting account, but Campo, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, I'll slip you 100 and I'll put that on 40 plus.
And look, SP booking has been banned as well, okay?
Oh, has it?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Think on those numbers...
Actually, I don't think it was ever legal.
We'll come back with Campo, but you're no chance.
Yeah, look grim after all those numbers.
Did you see his face? Get on the live stream.
His chin's on the floor.
White.
Well, I'm looking forward to it now.
Can somebody get something in for Timmy? He's gone pale.
My whole plan this week is just coming to fruition.
0000. You can watch live on the Adrian Bryan Hyundai live stream as well. We're in studio with Campo. Let's check your traffic.
At Wingfield, a car's gone into a ditch on the Porter Expressway near the north-south motorway. Parafield Gardens, a breakdown. Kings Road to the Salisbury Highway, pretty slow going there. And a crash at Richmond Marion Road near Richmond Road. Really busy. Decatterville Terrace near the Britannia roundabout with a camera Hogarth Road, Elizabeth Grove. Chomp on some churros from Oporto. Crispy churros dusted with cinnamon sugar and served with Biscoff topping and cookie crumbs. 5 and 8 packs available at Oporto. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Mario Maiolo Promotions and 5AA present Blowin' in the Wind, honouring Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Bob Dylan with friends Johnny Cash, Joan Baez and the Travelling Wilburys. Come celebrate the legends who contributed to cultural change through inspired lyrics and songs of revolution with an amazing cast. The times they're a-changing, folks, so don't think twice because it's all right. Blowin' in the Wind, Her Majesty's Theatre, Friday 23rd of May. Book now at Ticketek.
Now here's something I'm sure will benefit many listeners. For the relief of pain and other symptoms associated with mild arthritis and inflammation, try Arbor Vitae, like Rob.
Until I started taking Arbor Vitae, I had pain from mild to severe arthritis in all my joints, from my active days when younger, playing rugby league, and then working for over 50 years as a builder. It wasn't until July 2023 when I read an article about Arbor Vitae that I decided to give it a punt, having tried everything else with no luck. Within 1 week of starting Arbor Vitae, I started to notice a difference. I could feel relief from pain, and to my amazement, within 2 weeks all my pain had gone, and I was pain-free for the first time in probably 50 years.
Just like Rob, Arbor Vitae could have a positive effect on your life too. Arbor Vitae is available now at all major chemists and health food stores. Arbor Vitae, it's wellness backed by science. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Get saving now with City Discount Tyres. We're offering great deals on the world's top brands in tyres, wheels, suspension and parts. Suitable for four-wheel drives, SUVs and passenger cars, including Falcon, Michelin, Pirelli, Kumho, Hankook and many more. Finance options available. Search citydiscounttyres.com.au and locate your nearest dealer today. City Discount Tyres. We're driven by value.
The Mazda End of Financial Year Drive Away event is on now. Until June 30, enjoy exciting deals on Mazda's stylish SUVs. For a drive that feels uniquely yours, the Mazda CX-30 Pure, now from $35,990 Drive Away. Or be ready for any adventure in the versatile Mazda CX-5 Max from $37,990 Drive Away. There's never been a better time to get behind the wheel of your new Mazda. So head to your local dealer before June 30. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. See Mazda.com.au for details.
If you need a window, and not just anything will do, just call Statesman Windows. Factory direct to you.
Statesman Windows, a local homegrown success story, has been serving home renovators and builders right across SA for over 45 years. Their success is built around family and service, consistently providing the highest quality products at real value for money. Call Statesman Windows.
Windows winning where you are there. Windows winning where you are there.
Tick-tock, big changes are coming to My Aged Care on July 1st. Don't wait and miss out. Secure your Care Alert fully monitored personal alarm using your funding now. After July 1st, it might be too late or too complicated. Peace of mind for you and your loved ones. 24/7 protection that could save a life. Go to carealert.com.au or call us on 1300 75 85 95. Don't mess around. Care Alert means help is always one press away.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
26 after 5. Showdown locker room tickets still to give away. You can watch live on our Facebook and YouTube Adrian Bryan Hyundai live stream because Campo is here and we're taking your calls. And before we do, if you fancy a weekend escape for you and a loved one, we have at 5AA your chance to indulge in some award-winning wines, spa accommodation, and exclusive experience at Longview Vineyard. For your chance to win, you can head for the website 5AA.com.au, an overnight stay for 2 with some extra specials, treats. The website's where you go, or the 5AA player app. It's all thanks to Longview Vineyard and 5AA.
Sounds nice. You have to have a loved one, though. Is that right?
It's important to have one. Helps.
Maybe the buy round, Timmy. Just shoot up there.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, they were a great set of numbers. Let's take the callers. Let's go to Highbury. Hello, Andy.
Hey, Campo, I want to talk about Zach Taylor.
Yep.
Like, I saw him play in the finals, the SNFL finals a few years ago, and I went, there's something about this kid.
Mm.
And then just watching his game on the weekend, there's like, you watch him and there's almost a bit of Rory Sloane about the way he plays. Just the way he runs, he can get the ball, get away from the contest. But some of those forward handballs he used on the weekend to set things up, it's like, I think we've actually found one there. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they found him because they drafted him, so they obviously liked what he's got. But he's a nice size, and I liked the way he played on the weekend.
Makes good decisions under pressure,
and he kicks it well.
He does,
which is good. And I think he's got the balance to be able to play forward as well and be another option forward. Like if Rioli goes in there in the midfield, for example, they don't lose a lot in terms of what he's got, but he's certainly got speed and power, and I like the way. I was really impressed with his game on the weekend.
I'd like to see him a bit fitter. He doesn't look fit.
Yeah.
Do you reckon his body shape?
I would have thought anyone under Burjo, you're pretty fit.
Okay, all right. But, gee, he can make good decisions. I do like that. Good skills. Let's go to Bondi. Oh, here we go. Coach's Corner. Here's Tony.
Thank you, boys. So, look, quick one. We're talking midfield today, which is perfect, and I've got 3 in the room at the moment. My question, you can pull it apart, but I'll be really interested on your thoughts. The difference between, let's call it a consolidated midfield, Geelong, Brisbane, Collingwood, the same 5 players attending 85% of your centre-bout stoppages versus the model Adelaide's going to use where they just spin a different player through occasionally and the mix constantly changes. And my quick pros and cons are, I reckon you send dangerous occasional players in, you give yourself the opportunity to get one of your elite players' chest out when you're 6-on-6 ahead of the footy. But I feel, and it's only opinion, love to hear what your thoughts are, if you've got those really great midfield groups that play week in and week out, their off-ball running patterns are better and your transition improves.
Yeah, it's a good pickup, Tony. But essentially what happens, even with Adelaide, so if you have a look, I mean, the main guys that are through there are your Dawson, Saligo, Rankin and Peatling, and maybe Matt Crouch if he's in there. So there's probably, most teams would have 5 that are sort of your genuine midfielders that go through there. And then often there's that high half forward that spins through there that's got a little bit of X factor. So Rankin, Rioli, some of those guys that are going through there from an Adelaide point of view. I don't see Adelaide too much different than what the other AFL teams are doing. I think what Adelaide have got is that one that comes up, for example, say Rankin and Rioli, they sneak forward and they're class when they get forward and they lose the opposition in transition through there. So they may not transition defensively as well, but when the ball's in flow, they're the ones that get ahead of the game, and then you see them when they pop out and you go, how does Rioli get forward of the ball there? How does Rankin...
Richmond did it with Dusty, didn't they?
Yeah, well, his was a little bit different. Dusty never had a possession inside D50, so he was just centre forward.
Or tackle, or chase, or
and
pressure.
That Fife was the same. I'm trying to think. The player Ross Lyon used to tag, came up from half forward. Matty De Boer. Yeah. His role was essentially come up as a high half forward. You play on Nat Fife's man, and Fife, you just get after the pill. 1-2 Brownlow's doing it. Now, that's you give up to get something. Yeah. But I think most teams now, and that's what Adelaide have improved this year, getting Peatling in. He's added something else. And then obviously Rankin's midfield time's gone up. So I think they're better balanced and they've got more depth than perhaps what they ever have been.
Campo, outstanding,
yeah,
mate.
We won't see you till Saturday. You got a tip?
Hang on.
For Showdown?
Well, they're always tight. I mean, I've been involved in plenty of them as a coach, and even when you think you've got the team or you haven't got the team, something happens. So I think it'll be closer than what we think, but I still think Adelaide will win.
Okay. Campo, his last visit, thanks to Unique Homestyle Foods, proudly baking hundreds of South Australian businesses, large and small, for 35 years, hustlers in the baking industry, just like Campo. Visit uniquehomestylefoods.com.au.
And on the Unique Homestyle Food text, David said Campo Port will get smashed by 130. Let's hope it's not like that. Let's do this. If you want to get to the 5AA locker room for Showdown 57, it's time for you to call in now. We are playing What Happens Next. We'll play an iconic Showdown moment, and it's up to you to get the answer right. 8223 0055.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good evening. Mel Usher with the 5AA News headlines. A man is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after an assault at Murray Bridge at lunchtime. Authorities are keeping an eye on an out-of-control grass fire burning to the west of Melbourne Airport. Nicole Kidman and Madonna have attended the Met Gala in New York. And in sport, Showdown Week continues. Port had a light training run today. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the big white building, still at 412 North East Road.
Afternoon at Wingfield. Cars got into a ditch on the Port of Expressway near the North-South motorway. Brownfield Gardens to break down Kings Road into Salisbury Highway. Crash at Richmond getting cleared at the moment. Marion Road near Richmond Road. And busy for work to Glenelg East Gasworks there. Anzac Highway near Morford Road. Cameras tonight, Adams Road, Craigmore and Blue Street at Ingle Farm. Try new Wonder 5 Health Star bread with 3 times the fibre for soft white and prebiotic for soft multigrain, both with the same Wonder taste you love. It's the best thing since ever. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, a shower or two tonight down to 15, showers easing tomorrow 21. Right now it's 20 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Trish in Prospect has called in. Morning to you, Trish. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
To me, it's a bit strange that a shark washes up on Henley Beach and all of a sudden, oh gosh, a government agency goes into action.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
Do you know these fish and seals and dolphins have been washing up all along the coastline for weeks?
5AA Breakfast.
We will continue to pursue it because it is concerning.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Last month, we serviced around 11,000 vehicles. More than 3,000 Toyotas, Camrys, Corollas, Land Cruisers, 2,000 Mitsubishis, Tritons, Outlanders, Pajeros, over 500 VWs. That's right, over 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters or book online. All centres offer repair now, pay later options. So switch and save with Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
It's all the little things that make a Murray River Outback Heritage Cruise unforgettable. It's the wonder of wildlife. It's the charm of rural Australia. It's the celebration of the senses. And good old-fashioned hospitality. For a big adventure full of the little things, book your 4-night Murray River Outback Heritage Cruise today at murrayprincess.com.au.
It's SA's biggest cover-up, and thousands of pool owners all over South Australia are implicated. Who's at the centre of it? Walco, of course. Put your pool to bed for winter with a Walco Guardian pool cover. Made right here in SA, a Walco Guardian pool cover will preserve your chemicals, keep your water clean, and you won't need to run your pump. The savings are amazing. Join the great cover-up and get a Walco Guardian pool cover. Visit walco.com.au.
If your home has grotty grout, the Grout Guy will sort it out. Showers, bathrooms, splashbacks and balconies, they can re-grout it all.
Hi, Daniel Talia here, General Manager of Home. That's HAUME. Put simply, we buy homes. If you've received a letter from us in your mailbox, don't throw it away. You may be throwing away a golden opportunity to sell your home at market value. With zero effort, advertising fees or commissions, you'll save thousands of dollars. If you've received a letter from us, it means we're serious about buying your home. For more info, visit home.com.au. That's HAUME.com.au.
Last month, around 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, logbook servicing, repairs, brakes, aircon and more. Isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Oh, we love Showdown Week. It's 24 minutes to 6, and we have here on 5AA your chance to get there.
Timmy G. Well, he certainly has, and God, you'd want these, because after Campo's analysis, Port are no chance. So if you're a Crow, you can win this. But if you're a Port, you're thinking, well, we like it like that. We love it like that.
Yep.
We love being the underdogs.
Yep,
and bite you fair on the lemonade and SARS.
I've got a 40-plus margin from you. I think Brad last night gave me 57. I've got a bottle of Black Guts with Marco, so it's all happening.
Hello, Damien at Largs North.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, this is easy. It's easy peasy. Listen to this and then tell us what happened.
Now it's one-on-one inside the forward 50. Takes Talia on again.
What happens next, Damien?
Is that when Motlop scores the winning goal in the showdown?
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday. Sorry, Damien. But
Sorry, buddy.
It is a big moment in Showdown history. Let's go to Prospect. G'day, Dom.
Dom.
G'day, mate. How are you?
All right. Do you want to have a listen?
Yes, please.
Now it's one-on-one inside the forward 50. Takes Talia on again.
What happens next?
Takes a mark.
Takes a mark.
Who?
Who takes a mark?
Ooh.
Not that matters because it doesn't happen anyway. So no worries. Thanks, Dom.
Takes Talia on again.
Yeah.
So that's the era. Think of that era.
Let's go to Woodville. G'day, Sam.
Sam.
How you going, guys? I reckon it's Bond marks the ball.
Righty.
Sorry, Sammy.
Bit earlier than that, I reckon.
82230055 if you want to play. Here it is again.
Now it's one-on-one inside the forward 50. Takes Talia on again.
What happens next, Eric?
I don't know, Timmy, but I reckon, let's say that, I don't know, mate.
No worries, Eric.
Sorry, Eric. Just think. Just have a stab.
This is let's say the
top
last
3.
90 seconds of the game.
Last 90 seconds
And it'd be one of the top 3 moments on any showdown.
In Showdown history. Let's go to Finnan. G'day, Mike.
G'day, Timmy.
What do you reckon happens next?
Oh. Maybe it's our own man Warren Treadray, kick and goal.
Treaders.
Nah, sorry, Mike.
Sorry, Mike.
Let's just say he's on the right tram, though.
He's on the right tram.
He's on the right tram.
Well, whoever this is beats Talia, takes him on again. Let's go to Paralawi. G'day, Robert.
Timmy, maybe Stewie Jew?
No.
Stewie, it wasn't Stewie.
It wasn't a wrong or an offie.
Yeah, sorry,
No.
Robert. Sorry about that. Let's go to Seacliff. G'day, Kev.
Hey, boys.
What happens next?
Was it a Chad Wingard goal?
Same game.
Same game.
He does kick one at the end of this game too. Let's have another listen real quick.
Now it's one-on-one inside the forward 50. Takes Talia on again.
All right. Who takes Talia on again, Mick?
I reckon it's Paddy taps down to Monfries and he kicks a goal.
Now it's one-on-one inside the forward 50. Angus, after his man slipped over, takes Talia on again. Ben Burlow closing. Monfries has kicked a goal.
Good on you, Mick.
Congratulations, Mick. It was the unbelievable off-break of Angus Monfries that went through at right angles into the goal in round 19, 2013 Showdown, the last one ever at Football Park. Well done, Mick. You're going to the locker room, mate. You ever been?
No, I have not. No, that'd be great.
You will love it, mate. 5AA locker room. Take somebody with you. You get fed at halftime. You get fed after the game. You get continuous 5-hour beverage packet. You will have a ball.
Hey, Mick, Crows or Port, mate?
I'm a Port man, Rowey. Sorry, brother.
No, you're all right. You'll enjoy that. You'll love it. All the best.
Do you want to go? book your tickets, Adelaide Oval 7:40, Adelaide Oval at portadelaidefc.com.au. I think it's a sellout, isn't it? Pretty close.
I don't know.
Oh, it'd have to be.
You'd think so.
Might be a few left. Get on there.
Those
Check it out.
teams for Port Adelaide and the Crows, more chances for you to win, of course, tomorrow as well on the Sports Show. The injury update, thanks to CLK Injury. If you have a personal injury claim, get the compensation you deserve, clklegal.com.au. Let's start with Port Adelaide. They've got a bit of a longer list, Timmy. Travis Boak, a test this week. He's got his back that he's been dealing with the last few weeks, so he's a test. Josh Sin on track to be available with concussion, which is good news, so you may have those two back.
Correct, yes.
Would you put him straight back in, Boakey?
I'm just trying to think. We got no injuries out of last week, but you might bring him in for experience.
Off the bench?
Because it's so big. It's such a big game and the pressure level and all the rest of it. He might come in for experience perhaps, but I suppose the ones that I'm excited about, Jack Lukosius, maybe a couple of weeks. That'd be good to see him back. I heard Todd Marshall started running today, so Tommy Cochran's still a long way away. Which is a bit unfortunate there. So, yeah, Josh Lai, who I like a lot, has damaged his hand. Hopefully he's not too long out because I reckon he can play. Yeah,
CLK legal injury report for the Crows. Matt Crouch is still a sand crab, 4 to 6 weeks with that hip. Nick Murray, knee. 4 to 6. He's had the clean out, so he's on the recovery, and his brother Toby's still 3 to 4 months. To think you're round 8, you've only got 3 injuries.
You're doing
outstanding management and a bit of luck. Hello, Steve.
G'day, how you going, guys?
Steve.
Couple of things on the Rioli issue. If Tex did the same thing, he would be lucky to be getting back on the field in time for finals, given his prior history.
Well, I hope you're wrong with that, but it smells like that, doesn't it?
It does. And the other thing is, when this thing hit, if the AFL are not gun-shy about the name Rioli, I'll go he, because they've got enough on their plate over there, over that Hawthorn business and everything else. And when they saw the name, they would have just run a bloody mile.
Well, hasn't that been settled?
It has.
The Hawthorn
it has, but you can still see...
It hasn't settled emotionally.
I was going to say, I think there's still...
But, yeah. I can see how you'd think like that, Steve, sadly. Hello, Raylene. Oh, Raylene's gone. Let's go to Con at McGill. Hello, Con.
Yeah, how you going, guys?
Hey, Con.
Look, I've got a couple of things about umpiring, which is doing my head in and probably everyone else I go to the footy with. And I reckon we've got a couple of things that we should be doing to try and improve the calibre of umpires. And I think what we've got to do with the 4-umpire system is get back to not having them have to do the 3-minute mile. Because you can play as an umpire much, much longer. If you don't. If you've got 4 umpires, you don't need to do the manoeuvres that you used to do with the 2-umpire system. Number 2, and I think this one's a good one too, get rid of the bounce. Make it optional.
Correct.
Why? If you want to do it at the beginning of every quarter, fine, but don't make it mandatory. Because I know a lot of people that umpired in the game, and I can tell you, they got back problems.
Yes.
You got to on a soft surface, you got to bounce the ball. It's not round, 7 metres in the air. It takes effort, and you don't have the back for it. No. So that'll bring more people back in.
Yeah, but Con, I think about that, and I think, well, back in the 60s and the 70s, there was one umpire, and he bounced it the whole game.
Yeah, there's very few that can do that.
Yeah.
Very few that can do that.
But there's humans that have done it.
I reckon the day we went to the Collingwood-Brisbane Grand Final and the first bounce went out of the circle,
that was
the end of it for me.
Yeah,
that was the end of it.
Cool.
You've just ruined the beginning of the Grand Final. Yeah. Take it away. Thanks for those suggestions,
Good
Con.
on you, Connie.
Excellent stuff. Let's go to Raylene. I think she's back.
Hello, guys.
Hi, Raylene.
How are you? I was just about Willie Rioli. When I heard what had happened, my heart sank because I'm thinking, what the hell? And it's like reflecting back on the club, what are you doing, young man? And it's just so bad. And the guy is not going to learn a lesson by getting off for what he's done, because it's just sending out a precedent for anyone to think that they can do it. Young kids today are running riot in some places around Australia, and if you're looking up to somebody that is what's supposed to be like a superstar, it's going to make them think that they can do stuff and get away with it, and it's happening too much in normal society without our guys that we like to respect and love to see play their sport regardless of whatever it is. To do this sort of stuff and get away with it is not good.
They're role models, Raylene, and that's from a grandmother. I see where you're coming
She
from.
sounds like a good mum. Yeah, exactly. Let's go to Brett. G'day, Brett.
Good afternoon, fellas. Just a couple of things. One is with umpiring. How was Bobby Hill penalised for running down the player, yet Sicily runs down the player and does exactly the same thing, yet it's a free kick to Sicily? You know, they pay free kick against Bobby Hill, yet free kick to Sicily when you initially grabbed him and then it fell down to his ankles. I'm thinking, then he pushed him into the ground. I'm thinking, rubbing your nose into the dirt. So how can that be, what's the AFL got to say about that?
Yeah, for the theatre of the game, the Bobby Hill one should have been a free kick holding the ball, really. But it did, the tackle slipped. And he got him around the ankles and he tripped him.
The Sicily one.
But it was a great chase.
What I didn't like, Sicily did a great tackle, got him on the ball, but it was the aftermath of rubbing the nose in the face, the face in the ground and all that, which caused another drama because then there was a push and a shove and somebody came in and knocked him over and there was a 50-metre penalty and then there was a big melee out of it. That's just like, it's what would you say? It's the unsociable Hawks. They're back.
Fabulous Phil v. G. Corns. No free kick there.
No, but a mud
Nord
pie.
Oval.
A mud pie.
Straight in his face. Johnny boy.
Hey, boys. Slamming Shane Tutwell knows this. I have just about had a gut full of the AFL in a lot of ways, and in many ways I've gone back to the mighty AFL. I used to watch the VFL, don't get me wrong. Used to watch the old VFL into the AFL. That's AFL, just a footy fanatic. But I'm just about jacking the AFL, and I've said 1,000 times, I've said 1,000 times again, sorry to bore everyone, but I would much rather a good earthy answer. I watch you every week on Channel 7. I either record your watch your live, Timmy G, and that's AFL. And if Port Adelaide hadn't gone into the AFL, there'd be 50 AFL premierships by now.
Johnny.
You're a good man, Johnny. You're a good man. I think he's right.
He was going really well till then.
I'll be sitting here as a 14-time.
He's just staring me.
Well, you know what I like about this last text here from John? He says, does Willie Rioli need to be more prudent about his social media?
Yes.
That might win text of the night.
Yes.
That's good, John.
Yeah,
Be
Home style
prudent.
foods don't let us down, do they?
Now, because he wasn't prudent, why didn't the AFL then fine him?
It's inconsistent, doesn't apply.
Where does prudency
start?
apply?
Where does it finish?
Correct. Good point.
All right,
Big
question
let's
for
finish
Laura
it now.
Kane. 11 minutes to 6. Let's check your traffic out there. DJ Vasilovich is coming up next.
And Wingfield, cars got into a ditch on the Porter Expressway near the North-South Motorway. Parafield Gardens, a breakdown Kings Road near the Salisbury Highway. Athelston, a burst Watermain Gorge Road near Kirkview Road. And Glenelg East Urgent Gasworks at a pretty busy intersection anyway. This is Anzac Highway near Morford Road. Cameras, Main North Road, Smithfield and Midway Road at Elizabeth Park. Office Works have great tech, craft and personalised gifts for Mum this Mother's Day. So you can say, thanks, Mum. Shop in-store, online or via the Officeworks app today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's showdown time again in Adelaide as the two SA clubs go to war. Catch all the action live on 5AA. Thanks to Barnacle Bill, serving South Australians quality seafood and much, much more for over 50 years.
There are many joys that come with growing older, and Arbor Vitae helps you optimise these joys. Arbor Vitae is an anti-inflammatory supplement made from natural ingredients like pycnogenol, enzyme papain from the papaya fruit, aloe vera and honey. It helps to reduce mild arthritis, relieve other joint pain, and helps to maintain healthy blood glucose, cholesterol levels and cognitive functions. For Tracy from New South Wales, Arbor Vitae has saved her career. She's a cake maker by trade and suffered with sore hands for years. After trying Arbor Vitae, all her pain disappeared and she thanks Arbor Vitae for saving her career. Arbor Vitae health supplements are now available at Chemist Warehouse, Australia's cheapest chemist. arborvitae.com.au. Always read the label and follow directions for use.
They say 20,000 hours in any field makes you master of it. So imagine what 160 years makes you. For more than 160 years, Anglicare SA has supported South Australians in need. Whether it's gardening, meal prep, housework or transport to appointments, Anglicare SA gives seniors as much or as little support as they need. For more on Anglicare SA's coordination and clinical services, visit anglicaresa.com.au.
Hello. Nettie just walked in. He's a bit of a distraction. Hello, Nettie. Hello. You're not on yet. Nobody knows paints like me.
Yeah, that's true.
I meant to say Crowies, but I used to be a painter. Look, it doesn't matter what you're painting or staining, they'll be able to help. And that's the brilliance of this. There's one on every street corner, it feels like Crowies. There's one in your suburb. So Google them, visit crowies.com.au. But if you're painting something, you want to go to the best. You want to get the best service, the best quality and the best paint, and you want to do it once. So if you're stuck, just ask a question. Yeah. Do I need to undercoat? No. What do I need to buy? Buy this.
That's it.
They got all the brands, all the top brands. So you go to other, inverted commas, paint stores, and you can only buy their brand.
Oh, right.
They got all the brands.
Yeah, home brand.
Well, no, the best brands, the top brands, the premium quality brands.
You get the good stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You only get the good stuff. And all the other stuff like, I don't know, rollers, sleeves, brushes, sash cutters, everything. And don't ask me about sugar soap. You don't need it anymore.
No.
Crowies tell you that. So get in there. Remember, Crowies only sell the best. Their staff are well-trained and so friendly and great. So visit crowiespaints.com.au for a store near you.
You wake up with a runny nose. Maybe it's just a cold, but that scratchy throat. This might be serious. A little sniffle can cause a lot of worry. Test for COVID, flu A, flu B and RSV with one simple AHPC 4-in-1 antigen test. AHPC provides reliable results in just minutes and is available in single use and packs of 10 for value-priced family testing. AHPC 4-in-1 antigen tests. Available at leading chemists and Amazon.
Dreaming of a getaway? Now's the perfect time. With the G'day Parks app, not only do you get access to more parks in more places, but if you book on the app before the 31st of August for travel anytime this year, you'll be entered into the draw to win free fuel for a year. A whole year of free fuel. Book to win and get away on us. G'day Parks, the easy way to get away. Here's good. G'dayParks.com.au.
T's and C's apply. Permit number ACT TP25/00645.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 7 minutes to 6. Ned McHenry's going to join us in studio after 6 o'clock tonight. And here on 5AA, we've got tickets to the 5AA Ultimate Friday Knockoffs at the Beer and Barbecue Fest's 10th birthday. It's Friday the 6th of June. You'll get tickets for you and a mate in our VIP area. We'll chuck some beers and delicious barbecue food in there. Plus, you get access to the space all night with a view of the stage and screens to the footy. That sounds like an outstanding night, if you ask me. Call us now if you want to be a part of it and head along. 8223 0055. Celebrate 10 years of Beers and Beer Barbecue Festival at the King's Birthday weekend. Tickets are found at beerbarbecuefest.com.au.
Well, the Trans-Tasman Throwdown begins tomorrow night at Adelaide Entertainment Centre with the Boomers taking on the Tall Blacks. I love it. And the Opals taking on the Tall Ferns. The Opals start at 5:30 and the Boomers at 7:45. We've got, one of the experienced now and 36's captain, DJ Vasilovich, on the line. G'day, DJ.
What's going on, fellas? How are you?
Yeah, look, we had a bit of an announcement when this first came out, and I thought, I love the idea of us taking on New Zealand in a throwdown.
Yeah, 100%. It hasn't happened for 10 years. We went through a bit of culture and history behind the two teams, and obviously them competing last for 2015, and there was a bit of a feisty one. So it's always a bit of a tradition between the two countries. So I look forward to kind of the Trans-Tasman coming back to life.
Excellent. And the double header too, that makes it even better.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, the women played before us, so it'll be good exposure for them. And, obviously Adelaide always turn up for the basketball, so it'll be good because it is a sellout.
It's off-season, DJ. You fit?
Yeah, I've been playing NBL 1.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Okay.
Top of the lap. I'll head over to a little holiday in Europe after everything's done, so I look forward to that.
Good man. Now, no Brian Goorjian. Tell us about your new coach.
Yeah, so Dean Vickerman's got the reins for this one. He's obviously going to be the assistant moving forward for the Boomers, and obviously
Adam Campo and the official new head coach of the Boomers. So it's a new kind of start to a new generation of new Boomers. So it's exciting.
Yeah, and quite a young team, quite a young, inexperienced team, but full of talent, DJ.
Yeah, I mean, all these guys play in the NBL, except a few that go to college and whatnot. But it's good to get them under the belt and a bit of exposure. So I look forward to it. There's 2 debutants, so I look forward to them putting on the green and gold for the first time and kind of going out there. And obviously playing in Adelaide's kind of big for me, obviously, because I play here.
Okay. So on the court side, there's no fold-up chairs to pick up to whack over anyone's heads? Because isn't that what happened last time, DJ?
No. We won't talk about that. There is no folding chairs, hopefully not. So,
well, wasn't there a little bit of rock and roll wrestling?
No, it was, I think in the past there's been a few punches thrown. So,
the Philippines.
The Philippines got they got out of hand.
All right, DJ, we'll leave it there.
Now, there is a few old heads with you, mate. You've got a little bit of experience around you there as well. Mitch Norton, of course, Todd Blanchfield. So a couple of older heads to guide the young'uns.
Yeah, the pensioners, we call them. Yeah, they've been around a long time. Obviously, Mitch Norton will, captain the side during the series, so big congrats to him. And yeah, it'll be good. You got him, you got Toddy Blanchfield, you got Xavier Cooks and myself, and yeah, it's going to be an exciting series. And obviously, our Spets will hold it down for a bit for the younger guys. And obviously, we don't like New Zealand when it comes to these games, so it'll be a feisty series.
DJ, the 36ers, sad to lose Kendrick?
It depends. Again, he wanted something else. He wanted to go to the NBA, and I guess the Sydney Kings sold him a dream of going to the NBA. So he can, if that's what it takes, then he can go do it himself. And obviously wish him the best of luck. But we'll regroup and get 3 new imports and go from there.
Was it over money?
I mean, he got offered good money. Don't get me wrong. He got offered great money. But he decided to go to Sydney because I guess the dream of, trying to make it back to the NBA is what he wanted.
Well, good riddance, I say, DJ. You're either with us or against us, and I think you think the same, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you don't want to be part of us, good luck to you, and then we'll see you when we play. Okay, Montrez, we're going to keep him, or what about the inputs? What names can you throw out there? Who are we trying to woo, DJ? I think it's still too early. I know there's been conversations with like Jalen Adams. Okay. And then obviously we're just trying to see who we can get in like the bigs, but I think we still have 1 or 2 local spots to fill up, and then we'll kind of go from there. So I know Matt Weston and Mike Wells will go to the Summer League and kind of search out the imports and who they think might fit well, or, there's a couple other leagues around the country still going on. So we'll kind of wait and see when that happens.
Yeah, I spoke to Mike not that long ago, just said it'd be nice to get your roster in order real early so you can start to work as that team unit. Yeah, 100%. I think obviously pre-season starts, I think the last week of July or the first week of August, and if we can get everything squared off by beginning of July would be good, because then we can get guys in a bit earlier. Correct. Start doing like an unofficial type, trainings with a couple of the coaches and whatnot. So we'll see how everything goes, but, they'll hold it down. Yeah, and you need to get them in early so DJ can show them the sights and sounds of Adelaide. Oh. Yeah, obviously the Barossa Valley, number 1, Henley Beach, number 2, and then a couple of steak races around Adelaide as well. Well, have a good one, DJ. Adelaide Entertainment Centre, sold out. That's Wednesday. It's a double-header with the Opals, which is brilliant. Then off the Sunshine Coast, then off to Hamilton. Have a ripper. Have a great break. You deserve it. You're our skipper of the Sixers. We're looking forward to a massive season. DJ, as always, thanks for your time. No, I appreciate it, fellas. Thank you. Beautiful. DJ Vasilovich, our guest. Australian Boomers taking on the Tall Blacks. And you said it, Adelaide Entertainment Centre tomorrow night.
It's coming up to the 6 o'clock news now, and Ned McHenry to join us next.
The FIVEAA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Go Vita, your local health food shops. With 40 years health and wellness experience and over 300 natural health practitioners specialising in you.
Hi, I'm Rebecca from Go Vita Manapara. Support your immune system with NutriVital Quercetin. 60 tablets, now 40% off. Packed with quercetin, zinc and vitamin C to keep you feeling your best. Always read the label and follow directions for use.
Go Vita, Colonnades, Fairview Green, Marion, Mount Barker, Manapara, Semaphore and Tanunda.
The latest local, national and international news for South Australia. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
A shower or two tonight, down to 15. Showers easing tomorrow, 21. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. A Mayday call was issued by a pilot in a small plane over Port Pirie today. He needed to make an emergency landing after the engine failed. Steve Joyce from the local aerodrome has told Seven he landed safely.
They've landed in a paddock with sheep, and very well done by the pilot to keep the aircraft on the wheels, and that's good.
The pilot and his passenger were not injured. Melbourne Airport says flights aren't being impacted tonight by a fire burning at nearby Bulla. The airport's Andrew Lund says that's despite smoke in the area.
Like to take off into the wind. So that means on days like today when we've got a reasonably strong northerly wind, we use our north-south runway because planes need to take off and land towards the wind. So we're not really using the east-west runway, which is fortunate given the fire is sort of off to the side of our east-west runway.
A Qantas flight from Perth to London has been diverted to the Maldives due to a medical incident on board. The diversion resulted in the airline crew reaching their rostered duty limit, so flight QF9 couldn't continue. Staff are being flown in from London for additional support. Qantas says it's working to book passengers on alternative flights. There's widespread confusion surrounding Donald Trump's plan to introduce a 100% tariff on all movies produced outside the US. He's promising to meet with American film industry stakeholders first. SA Film Corp CEO Kate Crozer says they don't know how it would work.
Exporting films these days, they're digital products and they're also considered a service rather than a good. So there's not actually a mechanism that we know of at the moment for how a tariff might be applied and collected. So all of that detail will have to be worked through.
It's been revealed Angelina Jolie's father, John Voight, is advising the president on how to make the American movie industry great again. More details today about the new Adelaide Aquatic Centre. It's expected to create up to 300 jobs when it opens next summer. The YMCA will manage the facility. They also run the Aquatic Centre at Oaklands Park. Kitchen blenders could be a source of plastic contamination in your diet. Australian researchers have found high-speed plastic smoothie blenders can release hundreds to thousands of nano and microplastic particles in a single serve. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Goal Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
There was a light training session for Port today ahead of Saturday's Showdown. Adelaide's Matt Crouch will be watching the local derby from the sidelines. Crows high-performance manager Darren Burgess says he's about 6 weeks away from playing again.
Yeah, Crouch has been battling some ongoing hip soreness in both hips. It's been with him for a couple of years now and he's managed it really, really well. Unfortunately, in the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks, it's got to a level where he can't perform at his explosive best. So he'll have a period of maybe 3 to 4 weeks off legs in order for that to settle down.
Adelaide United are getting ready to face Melbourne United in an elimination final on Friday night. Skipper Ryan Kitto says the Reds can hold their own.
I think we've only been outside the final, outside the top 6 for 2-3 weeks of the season. We've beaten every side inside the top 6 other than Auckland, but they haven't beaten us either. So we know that our best football can compete with these teams, and undefeated in the last 3 games. We're going to take a lot of confidence from that.
And from Chicago to Frankston, Josh Giddey hit the courts southeast of Melbourne last night for the Vales and played in a Div 3 game. These days, he's usually on court in front of thousands playing for the Bulls in the NBA. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
At Wingfield, cars going into a ditch on the Porter Expressway near the north-south motorway. Parafield Garden to break down Kings Road near the Salisbury Highway, slow going affecting outbound. And Athelston Burst Watermain getting fixed Gorge Road near Kirkview Road. Cameras tonight, Smart Road, Modbury and South Terrace, Paraka. Get business ready with Telstra Business Internet. It has your business covered with reliable connectivity, network monitoring and specialist business support. Visit Telstra today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 15 tonight with a shower or two. Showers easing for your Wednesday, 21. Thursday, cloud clearing and 20. Friday, sunny, 21. Right now, it's 20 degrees. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
in your suburb.
Good evening from Port Noarlunga.
Across your state.
A sombre scene here in Bordertown tonight.
9 News is covering the stories that matter to South Australians.
We begin with breaking news tonight.
South Australian parents urged to be extra vigilant.
Because your home is our home. Adelaide is your city. 9 is your news.
Whatever your path, Australian Super is committed to delivering the best super experience, helping members like Warwick.
Look at the numbers, understand it, get in control of it. The sooner you start, the better.
Whatever your path, we're with you. It's Australian, it's super, and it's yours. Visit australiansuper.com/yourpath. Read the PDS and TMD at australiansuper.com.
Here's a stat you need to hear. Literally, 1 in 6 Australians are living with some sort of hearing loss. It's hard to notice because it creeps up on you, but it doesn't have to get in the way of things. Not if you do something about it now. Can Do Hearing can provide solutions to make living with hearing loss so much better. And your options are almost endless. Book an appointment with Can Do Hearing. candohearing.com.au. That sounds better.
Oh, Danny boy.
Damien Leith is back with Island Orchestrated. A breathtaking night of Ireland's greatest classics, backed by a stunning orchestra. Sing along to timeless favourites like Danny Boy, Galway Girl, You Raise Me Up, Molly Malone, and more. This is Ireland like you've never heard before. Her Majesty's Theatre, Saturday, 17th of May.
All right, guys, Mother's Day is just around the corner. Think about it. She's the heart of your home, the woman that loves you and the kids unconditionally. This Mother's Day, give her something that says, I appreciate you. A Temple Day Spa gift voucher. It's a pause in her busy life. Purchase a gift voucher online or pop in and see us. And let's make this Mother's Day unforgettable for her. Now open 7 days. Temple Day Spa. Only in Semaphore. Not just a treatment, an experience.
I'm with RAA's General Manager, Home and Energy, Ben Owen. Tell us a little bit about RAA Energy.
A recent ACCC report found that over 80% of households could be paying less for power. We're tired of seeing energy providers rip off South Australians for something as essential as electricity. So we've launched RAA Energy to give South Australians a fairer deal with transparent pricing and no hidden markups.
I've heard stories of Big Energy prioritising new customers.
So energy suppliers often lure new customers with cheap sign-up deals. If you haven't changed electricity plans in the past 12 months, chances are you're paying more than you need to. RAA Energy is different. Our members pay a fixed monthly subscription without markups or hidden costs.
That was RAA's General Manager, Home and Energy, Ben Owen, talking about RAA Energy. To learn more, head to raa.com.au or give them a call, 8202 8118. T's and C's apply. RAA Energy is a trading name of Energy Locals Proprietary Limited, ACN 606 408 879.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 9 after 6 on this Tuesday evening. You can jump on the Adrian Bryan Hyundai live stream. We're on Facebook and YouTube across our 5AA socials. We have a special guest in here.
Yeah, we do. We love him, Nettie. Welcome.
Hello, lads.
Bit to get through, so we'll whip into it. Have you ever sent an angry tweet or post?
I have. I've got a funny story about that too, about one of my old teammates. But Willie, he's had a brain fade, hasn't he? He's had a Rowey there. What's he thinking?
He's had a Rowey.
I don't have social media.
No, I know, but you have brain fade sometimes.
Oh, I do.
You have brain fades and you do something.
Weekly, monthly. I'm not going to throw stones.
Well, that's okay.
Tell us the story.
No, okay, good story. A previous teammate of mine and very, very good friend of yours too, Taylor Walker.
Tex.
Now, remember when Taylor was in that kind of phase of sending out the occasional tweet that might have not been thought through?
Him and Kane had a bit of a war.
Kane and also Kyrgios. I think him and...
yes, he has.
Do you remember
Yes.
Kyrgios did? So, obviously very different to Willie's situation, so not looking to make comparisons there. But what happened was there was an intervention at the club And the captain at the time, Nathan Van Berlo, put in a new rule where every time Tex was thinking about tweeting something, it had to go through to Nathan first. He would then tick it off on the account, and then Tex was allowed to post it. So a grown man, had it ticked off by Nathan Van Berlo before he was allowed to tweet. I believe that's a true story.
Now, you know
good
what?
leadership.
You need to ring Josh Carr or Ken Hinckley and say, listen, Willie needs to send his tweets to Connor Rowey and then he signs them off. That is smart.
I believe that to be a true story.
There's nothing wrong as a leader to sit down next to a guy after whatever's happened and having a chat with him.
100%.
And I remember some young lads came to me and said, listen, you got to talk to one of our players, and they were younger than me. And he said, he's just crazy on the drink. Like he's doing some things that we're really worried about and all the rest of it. So I thought, all right, I'll have a chat to him. Went up to him, had a chat to him. I put it in a really nice way, just saying, what we do before finals, we don't give up the drink. We just get home earlier, So rather than stay out too late where nothing good happens after one, let's get home before one. You get 8 hours sleep, get to training on the next day, and we sort of just start to gear ourselves up for finals. And agreed with everything I said. 2 weeks later, the boys came and said, what'd you say to him? I said, well, I just sort of explained, and they said, he won't come out now. He won't come out.
Jeez.
I didn't think I was that harsh.
Have you lads heard, sorry, Rowey, to interrupt you, have you heard the Kevin Sheedy stories? Apparently Kevin Sheedy used to be the best people manager, and
very good.
I can't remember who the player was, and maybe one of our listeners might be able to help me here, but there was one player, and he was a bit the same, Timmy. He loved having a beer and loved drinking a lot of beer.
No, I know the story.
And he used to get him over, and he'd bring a slab over, and he'd have them at Sheed's house. Is that true or not?
Is it Paul Vanaher?
Paul Vanaher and Billy Duckworth. And what happened was they had this guy come in and talk about diet. This is back probably early 80s. And these two guys were great players, but they were larrikins and they liked the beer. Anyway, this guy, dietitian, came in and he told them everything they got to do and right, and he said, you've got to give up the drink. So anyway, they gave up the drink for about 3 months, and they did the right thing because Sheedy asked them to. Anyway, they played 2 trial games and they could not get a kick. And Sheeds walked away and said, get those 2 back on the piss as soon as possible.
It's true, isn't it?
You know what? You broke their routine.
Oh, God. Hey, now, we're going to get to the Crows because they were awesome. We've got the Showdown coming up, Showdown 57, 40 plus, the odds are 470. Want to know if you want to have a piece of that. You've played in Showdowns. We'll get there. But your Div 1 team lost by a point.
We did. Yeah. That's not. What have you done there, Sam?
That's a choking noise.
Is it?
You choke. You're 4 goal up, apparently, with 12 minutes to go.
Get lost, Sam. Well, the worst bit about it is, Rowey, is I'm actually coaching and playing at PAC, and I went back through the vision. And I wanted to have a bit of a look at what was going on. And Ross Trevor, to their credit, they kicked the forward 50 goal from stoppage at the end of the game. There's nothing worse as a coach when you're actually coding through the vision and it's your opponent who kicks the goal.
Oh, no.
So I'm about to go through, and look, I was very nervous for lots of reviews at AFL level, but this is probably one that I'm most nervous
about. You're going to have to pot yourself.
I'm going to have to go up there and basically, as the coach, put the blame on myself as a playing coach.
So what did you do? Undisciplined? Were you thinking self?
Goal
you just lost concentration?
I'll settle down. No, don't put words in my mouth, Stephen. I wasn't quite physical enough. Don't make it worse than it has to be.
So you're right with him, but you just didn't quite get it done.
I wasn't good enough. And to his credit, they did it. So it's on me, actually. So I'm about to go and do that review with the boys now.
That would be tough.
As a coach, Tim.
Yeah. That would be tough.
Do you want to practice your lines with us? Like, how would you present that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Talk to yourself in the third party. Now, this bloke, Ned McHenry. Ned, and then look at yourself.
Got to get up there. I'll say, boys, footy's never perfect, is it? We're not going to get everyone right. And, this one wasn't right, lads.
Yeah, if you show that bit of humility, though, they'll appreciate, when I'm pointing things out at you. I'm not actually being personal because I'm doing this about myself right
Well, I have
now.
to, Timmy. I stuffed it up. It's on me, that last one. But, yeah, we gave up a loss. But that competition is fantastic, Adelaide Footy League. It's great. Loving every moment of it.
Well done. Lost by a point. Unlucky. Let's talk about the Crows. How good were they? A total team effort.
I've been thinking about you all week because I was so... You were almost in despair last week. I was so concerned about you and where you're at mentally.
He was like low as, wasn't he?
I threw every toy out of the cot.
I know.
We're done. They're finished.
I was shocked.
Matty can't coach. Get nicked. I was just, how can you lose to Fremantle? I was all of those things.
And have you now got some kind of emotional stability back? Are you
I
riding
haven't.
the highs or not?
Well, what I'm
he's
going
on
to
the
do
high.
is I'm going to put $100 on the Crows to beat Port by 40-plus points because it's paying $4.70.
Gamble responsibly.
No, I don't have a bank account. Does anyone Campo wouldn't do it for me. But I don't have a betting account. I don't have any of that.
Great win, and I'm keen to hear what you thought around the win. But are you just, I'm talking to you personally, not even the game. Are you a little bit more level now? Are you or not?
I'm still a bit flighty, but I'm not going to make as many big statements about their year. I'm just going to enjoy the ride now.
Okay.
Because what I do know, unequivocally, look at you, they're good enough.
Well, they are.
Timmy, they're good enough.
Where
he don't care.
Where do you think Carlton are at?
They were awful.
Yeah, well, just be careful, Stephen. You'll be riding this roller coaster all.
You're up and down like a yo-yo. You are.
I am. But that's footy. That's what a fan does.
No, sorry. Yeah, true.
It is.
No, I'm just worried about you, mate. I just want you to be happy.
Don't try and make me measured.
Yeah, sorry.
Measured? That's not me.
Yeah.
Listeners don't want me measured.
No, I think your family does and Jody does, or just
I
people
am.
close to you potentially.
It's funny.
Your therapist, maybe.
The outcry from listeners rounds 1 to 4 when you were trying to be measured, Rowey. People didn't like it. They did not want it.
Well, I am at home. I'm not always like this.
No, the Crows were excellent.
They were excellent.
So sharp. I just thought fundamentally they were so clean, weren't they? And so sharp. And not sure what Carlton's defensive review would look like, would sound like, but geez, they were just too good, the Crows. Too clean, too good.
Isn't it amazing the flipping and flopping of some clubs? Because the effort
from one week to the next.
The effort of Crows against Fremantle, where everybody's looking, going, what's going on here? This is not them. And then you saw Carlton's unbelievable game against Geelong, and you go, wow. They're up and about. And, all and then they get together, and this one falls down here, and this one goes up there. It's whoever can just control that consistency will end up playing finals. And there's going to be, I think we're going to see it separate a bit earlier than normal.
Starting to a little bit now, isn't it?
It is.
The top 6 or 7?
8 games in, there's a bit of a trend.
Remember what we spoke about, Timmy, when Port responded a couple of weeks ago, and you said you just wanted a little bit more consistency out of Port, and it's a similar message to what you have now. What's your confidence like heading into this showdown? Because to me, after a bad loss like that, historically, Port Adelaide will get revved up. They'll bring the intensity around the footy, and I reckon they'll be on.
I spoke to Connor Rowey about it yesterday. I just said, I think we have to move past being that side. And he said, yeah, that's what we want. But they don't have that maturity level yet. They have to have a really heavy loss to have a massive reaction. And you can't be like that. No. Good sides are just consistent, and their line. Yeah. This is the good game up here, but bad games down there, but they stay above this line.
Yeah.
And that's the way to be as a player and as a club and as a team. You want to be that consistent team.
Yeah.
And, Brisbane are right in that mode.
They are.
Hawthorn, when they won 3 in a row, were right in that mode.
Yeah.
Their bad games, they weren't that bad. They might lose small margin or just win by a bit.
So just on that, clearly you didn't listen to Coach's Corner, Scotty Campo just after 5.
No.
He went through a set of numbers about Port Adelaide, and it painted a picture. They are no chance.
In what regard?
Beating the Crows on the weekend.
No chance?
No chance.
Oh, that's a massive
The numbers,
call,
Timmy,
Rowey.
the numbers don't lie.
You need 17th in contested possession, 18th in ground ball, 15th in handball, and 17th in loose ball.
So are you on his side here, Timmy? You are giving them no chance
I'm
this
allowing
week.
the Tide to come in, Ned.
Timmy.
I'm allowing the Tide to come in.
Yes or no, Timmy?
He's worried. He's nervous.
No. You're dead right. What you just said is what every showdown has. We won 3 games in 2011. One of them was a showdown. And you go, how does that happen?
Showdowns are different.
Shouldn't happen.
The build-up of the week, the intensity with the crowd, Adelaide doing what it does best. Roy, you said you'd have money on Crows above 40. I will have a handshake deal on a bottle of Back Guts right now. The margin will not exceed 40 points.
That was just tongue-in-cheek.
There is no way in a showdown Port Adelaide respond like that. No chance.
He backed off a bit.
No, it'll be more like 90. Timmy.
Take the bet.
I don't surprise you anymore, do I? Well, how you gonna? Well,
I liked it.
You're the recent one out of the game as far as AFL. It's a big ask, a 90-point loss, to just assume you're going to bring it for 100 minutes. Because this is what I'm saying. Scotty Camporeale's numbers after 8 games of Port Adelaide, their midfield, their free kicks, and where they are with hard ball and loose ball and all that, they're damning.
I agree. And the numbers don't lie, and data's
You can't
data.
just turn on it. What we're going to turn? Hey, it's a showdown. How about we all turn up this week?
No.
Woohoo!
No one's suggesting that happens, Stephen, but you cannot dispute the fact that a showdown is different.
Oh, they are.
Showdowns are different. Scrap your numbers, shove those where the sun doesn't shine,
Fair call, and fair call.
Ladder placement doesn't matter. Both teams will rock up. It'll be on.
I know, and that's why we love them. What's the record, Timmy? This is Showdown 57.
Correct. It's 28 all.
28 all says everything, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Did you have a favourite showdown memory?
Oh, Dawson's goal was hard. No, I was there for that.
That was a good one. Yeah.
There was a few good ones, yeah.
God, how good was Dawson on the weekend?
He's unbelievable. Is he going to win the Brownlow or not?
Oh, God, well, who cares?
Timmy's
Running
not even
number one in the coaches' votes right now.
Yeah, he's been outstanding.
Riley O'Brien, your mate, our mate.
God, everyone was good, though.
His numbers. Woo!
I wanted to point out, just as we go to the break, because we'll talk fishing with Ned very shortly, the last 4 times Port Adelaide have been belted off the park, they've come back to win the next week, and it just goes to back it up. So you can go back to round 1 when they lost to Collingwood by 90. They won the next week.
Against who?
Richmond.
Well, they're peanuts.
Qualifying final last year, they lost to 84 points to Geelong. Beat the Hawks next week by 3.
That was a good win. That was a good win.
Round 15 last year, they got swept by Brisbane at home by 79.
That's right.
Knocked off the Saints next week by 2 away from home.
Yeah.
Then round 6 last year, Collingwood by 42 points. I think it was at the MCG. Next week at home, they beat St Kilda by 10. So it just goes to show the form line for Port Adelaide off big losses is very good. And we will probably see a good contest for Showdown 57.
Why don't we just
bringing it back to Port fans.
Well, I wished I was that team. Get smoked and then better the next week.
Kenny gets
I
those
wish I was
blokes
that
in
team.
and revs them up so far, Rowey.
Winds them up like a top.
He does.
Yeah.
You just wait.
Now, after the break, we're going to talk about the toxic algae bloom that I've got a theory. It's got nothing to do with that. A big shark was washed up on the beach at Henley.
Yeah.
It's got to do with naval ships out off of the... Should I stop there?
Sammy, break.
5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Oh, here's one. Hey, you leaving, mate?
Yeah, 1 sec, buddy.
Okay, no worries. Come on. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up.
Parking turning you into someone you're not. Search UPark app today.
Fusion Clinical Research are looking for people to participate in a study aimed at uncovering and reducing mental decline. The trial results will be used to drive the development of new treatments. People between the ages of 55 and 80 are invited to take part and will receive compensation for their time. If you are interested, find out more and check your eligibility by contacting Fusion at fusiontrials.com.au or by calling 08 7077 6996. That's 7077 6996.
Recalculating.
While you focus on directions, we'll handle your car battery. Battery World has the largest range of quality car batteries, so you can leave it to the local battery experts to keep you moving. Book your free car battery test today.
Get the garden you want at Garden Grove. Autumn's here, so it's important to think about getting your garden and lawns ready for a long winter with fertilising to keep them strong and healthy. Garden Grove have the best brands, backed by the very best advice. Get the garden you want. Garden Grove. Golden Grove Road, Golden Grove.
Garden Grove, that's the garden. Garden Grove, that's the garden. Garden Grove, the garden that I want.
Phone 8251 1111 for delivery to your area.
Walco is making headlines again for SA's biggest cover-up. If you own a pool, it will affect you in the best possible way. For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out, while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. If looks matter, join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. Visit walco.com.au.
G'day, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. We've grown from 3 staff at the beginning to 30, 40 staff and a number of contractors now. And radio's definitely played a big part of that. We've been working with FIVEAA for 5 or 6 years now. And in that time, we've seen a lot of businesses come and go in our industry. And I think that's a great example of people having to go short periods of time, not happy, leave. And for us, that longevity has enabled us to have a really great relationship with the audience. So when we meet someone someone that's a 5AA customer, they feel like they know us and we feel like we know them, and it makes for a really great experience for everyone involved.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
25 after 6, the fishing show is coming up very shortly with Ned McHenry. I've got a particular question for you, Ned. Do you want a chance to indulge in award-winning wines?
Yeah, yes.
Do you want a chance to get into a luxurious spa?
Yeah, now.
Accommodation?
Yes.
Exclusive experiences? You can do that by heading to 5AA.com.au or the 5AA Player app, because thanks to Longview Vineyard, you feel a chance to win for an overnight stay for two, or and added special treats as well in there. It's pretty good.
Oh.
You can stream 5AA on that 5AA Player app or the website. Just jump on there each day. You clock up more entries as you go each day. That's pretty good deal, and you're in the chance to win. All thanks to Longview Vineyard and 5AA.
That sounds
Timmy
brilliant.
slipped out. He's been on a bean diet this week.
Oh, you are a fibber.
I'm on the bean diet.
I'm going to ask you a question,
What's
Ned.
the bean diet?
One of us has been on a bean diet.
And
Which
lentils,
one you reckon
lentils,
it is?
and lentils.
Oh, my God. He looks like he's eating a bean bag.
Wow.
Certainly not him, Tim.
So it's not me.
What's a bean diet, lads?
No, Jody's got me on a bit of a diet there, mate.
Oh, really?
Let's talk about this. well, it's only been 4 days.
They take time, mate, don't worry.
Toxic algae bloom
nasty.
in our waterways. Another great white shark has washed up on the shore at Henley, just where the Torrens outlet is.
Oh, yeah.
About a 3-metre-y.
Yes.
And some snoozers tried to put it back in the water. What?
What do you mean? Well, they
grabbed its tail and tried to put it back out.
Well, the public response was excellent, Rowey. That was great that everyone looked at that animal in discomfort.
Why would you get into the water with a great white shark?
But they were trying to save the shark, Rowey.
What?
What are you saying?
There
You're
is
saying they
no
shouldn't
way.
have saved an endangered species?
Well, what if it swung around and bit them?
Well, no.
You naughty thing. Naughty.
Naughty.
Stephen, just pass.
Smack it on the nose.
Would you get into waist-deep water with a great white shark?
That
That's
shark
what they've done.
didn't have 0.001% ambition to go and hurt one of those people.
How would you know? Can you read his brain? Some purser snoozer jumped in the water and tried to put it out. Are you getting him on air?
After the break, we're going to...
idiot.
Stephen.
What a complete idiot.
Stephen, you truly... For anyone who's looking for something informative and factual, please stick around for the fishing show after the break, because we're going to have all the information on this matter. Now, Stephen...
Good. I hope so. I'll be tuned in like there's no tomorrow.
Well, good. The public response is
Why are our
great.
fish falling out of the sea?
Stephen, there was a great white shark in serious discomfort that wasn't healthy, and that's life, right? Everything, that's what happens, and people got in there and actually tried to save the animal. I can't for one moment understand why you would criticise that.
Think for one moment. The most axis predator in the water, a great white shark in its own terrain, and some purser rooster, I'll go and save him, gets in there at bloody waist-deep water.
Stephen!
How do you know it's not going to turn around and bite him, the fair motherless in half?
Stephen, the shark was in despair. It wasn't in good health. It was clearly sick, and they were trying to enter it back into the water.
What did they put a thermometer in its mouth? How'd they know it was sick? It's still swimming.
Stephen, it was 15 metres. No. Oh, my goodness me.
I'll be listening I'll be listening after 6:30, because I want to know
gone
why.
Off your rocker.
No, but I want to know why herring and salmon and great white sharks and a lot of the what do you call those things on the ground that on the bottom of the thing, the
what
big
manta ray. Oh my God,
manta rays, manta ray. Why are they all dropping dead?
Stephen, you've officially lost the plot. Please, our listeners, after the break, 5AA Fishing Show, Dr. Mike Drew is going to join us. He'll give us all the accurate information.
Good.
Everything you've just heard over the last 90 seconds. Just remove it from your brain.
Will he tell us what this algae bloom is? Does he?
We will get some more information on that. We'll talk about some of the fish
The water
that
temperature
are appearing. Yes,
Okay.
we'll get some more information.
I want to be listening to that show, and I want to find out that it's got absolutely nothing to do with warships cruising up and down our coastline and
Ned,
He's not
Ned, I'll
going
be
to
to
that?
air.
Stephen.
He's not going to
Ned,
air.
I'll
I
be
did
listening.
not mention the nationality.
No, I'll be listening after the break, because I need my fishing IQ raised.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Tim,
Will you sit
what
next
did-
to someone who constantly lowers it, Timmy?
Hang on. Why did you dump that? I just mentioned warships. I could
Because
have
we
been
don't
Australian.
need references to this sort of
None of
stuff.
that.
It's just silly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
swim between the
it's not.
flags.
There's a
Swim between the
You're
flags.
cutting into the fishing show.
We are actually.
Who's the old fishing rooster in this room?
I would say Ned
We
right
are
now. He's
all-
got the cred.
Yeah.
We are all
He's our man.
suspicious of these fish dying, and I'll be tuned in after 6:30.
Get out of here, beanbag guts.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
What a bizarre news cycle.